video. I think it's straight to the internet. And no, I still don't believe. Last time I talked to, what's the accordion lady?
Judy Tenuta.
Last time I talked to her, she still hadn't gotten paid.
For her role in the movie.
Yeah.
You talk to Tenuta often?
No, hardly ever. But last time I did, I think I was interviewing her. I think I interviewed her and we brought that up. She goes, I don't think I ever got paid for that thing.
You two had a stormy romance, though, didn't you?
No, she wasn't happy that I didn't know her name.
She an attractive lady?
She was kind of cute.
Yeah, Judy Tenuta, Doug.
Yeah, I remember her.
Yeah, she was sitting at the table all by herself, and I sat down and started talking to her. I said, I didn't even know she was in the movie. I didn't know who she was. I just found her kind of cute, and we started talking. She goes, I said, so the first time here? She goes, yeah, just down here shooting a movie. I said, oh, you're at that, I said, oh, you're that accordion lady, right?
Oh.
Did she like that? Did she like being known?
No, that's where it went downhill.
Yeah.
That's where it was going nowhere after that.
That accordion lady, she probably hears that a lot.
I didn't know her name. I never found her funny, but...
Yeah, I never really got the whole song and dance.
No.
She must have had a good agent.
Still have her number. We can get her on if you want.
Doug, you want to talk to Tenuta?
I don't know what I'd ask her.
What about Erickson Eck? He's in town.
I don't know what I'd ask him.
You'd probably ask him about his name, right?
I would. That'd be the first thing. Isn't Erickson good enough for you? You have to add an Eck at the end of it? Joel Erickson Eck?
Boy, there were times when these guys would register under their real names, and you would call them in the morning to try to get them on. And sometimes they'd say yes, and say, no, I'm still sleeping. Well, if you did that nowadays, the PR people would be just at the front door.
Guys, I was supposed to be in The Godfather, but I overslept. My scene involved kicking Carlo after he beats up Connie for Minute Bowl eligible.
James Caan, where he misses a punch by 5 feet.
I interviewed CCH Pounder. I didn't know how to introduce her.
CeCe DeVille, lead guitarist for Poison.
Now, the actress, and she's CCH Pounder. And I asked her, I said, I said, I don't know, should I call you Miss Pounder? She says, no, just call me CCH. What? Okay, CCH.
What's it stand for?
I don't know. It's 3 initials, Pounder. CCH Pounder.
Is it a porn star?
No, she's an actress.
Does sound like a porn star name.
Does really? I was going to look it up.
Oh, she's been in a lot of movies, and TV shows.
Pounder, Carol Kristen Hillera.
Hillera?
Yeah, I mean H-I-L-A-R.
There you go.
I-A. Hillera. What's she most known for? She was in Sons of Anarchy.
She was in Homeland, I think.
Oh, All That Jazz. That's what she's been.
And all that jazz.
It's an opus.
Yeah, I just felt weird. And, I'd reset the interviews that the good ones do. CCH Pounder. Now, CCH, it sounds stupid.
Well, I can tell you're frustrated by it.
How is that a hijacking? You're talking about Tim Ecclestone or whatever his name is.
Tim Ecclestone, blues forward.
That's correct.
In the early years of the franchise.
Something Eck.
Tim Ecclestone. I hadn't heard that name in 20 years.
Hey, this is Joe Buck. I miss my dad every day. When I want to hear his voice and his stories, all I have to do is go online. I'm lucky. Most people don't get that opportunity. So I want to tell you about Sound Story. Sound Story is an interview where you have the choice of Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, or even Jackson Burkett talking with your mom, your dad, your grandparents, or even yourself. With Sound Story, your loved ones' voices and stories are saved for your family forever. The interviews can be recorded over Zoom or take place in the studios at Hubbard Radio St. Louis with professional equipment and production. Go to mysoundstory.com for more information, to schedule your Sound Story, or to purchase gift cards for the perfect family holiday gift. Everyone has a story. The last few years have shown us that life can be unpredictable. Don't miss your chance to schedule a Sound Story or purchase gift cards. For the holiday season, enter promo code TMA to save 10% on your Sound Story. It's available at mysoundstory.com.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, the Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
7:07 in St. Louis. You're listening to the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios. It's the Munganess St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour. Timothy Michael McKernan, Douglas Elvin Vaughn, Kenneth Iggy Strode, the Plowhawk, and Action Jackson with you here on the radio program. And Doug, this is the one that you have been waiting for. This is the one you will get.
Okay, I know I'm going to get it. I don't know that I've been waiting for it.
You wanted the Hot Wife Autumn interview.
Oh.
The Hot Wife Autumn interview is in the books.
Okay, we're going to hear some of that?
Yes. Jackson has just sent
Okay.
over the clips. Also, Mike Francesa with a couple of incredible war stories that I had never heard. And I know you're a WW2 historian, so these will be intriguing to you.
He was in the big one, was he?
The Plowhawk is our Billiken correspondent. He was there last night as the Billikens staved off a Memphis comeback.
Yeah, it looked like they were going to blow it there at the end.
And
They were way ahead. What, up by 15 or so? With
15.
About 4 or 5 minutes
That's
left?
right. We were going through this, Plowhawk and I, before the show started. It was a comfortable lead, and they wound up staving off Memphis' comeback.
All right.
And what would be the 30th ranked Billikens, if you count down and the others receiving votes, beat the 35th, if you count down others receiving votes, ranked Memphis Tigers to improve to 3-0. And I think they got a nice basketball club, Doug. I bet them -3. I did not get to stay up for the entirety of it, as is sometimes the case when games start at 8 o'clock. Then I watch them in the morning. But I saw that I covered, and I didn't realize that I had a sweat when I saw the score in the morning.
Well, it may all come down to whether they can hit their free throws and more.
And they hit their free throws. Rory Collins hit 12 of 14 free throws.
He's a heck of a player. He is really good.
Travis Ford said after the game, best point guard in the country, Jack.
Might be.
It's a Sweet 16 team. They don't have a lot of size and depth at the big man position. I think would be
Call in, big man.
yeah, but
Call in, big
they're
man.
deep. And what I loved about the team, first of all, the atmosphere there. I've gone to I buy like the 3-game pack every year for the past few years. The atmosphere this year is just different. There's a student section is jam-packed.
Yeah, it looked like watching on TV last night. It looked like they had a lot of students there, which has not always been the case.
They
in
had
those
like
games.
themes like during the starting lineup. It actually felt like a Chicago Bulls style like starting lineup kind of theme.
Really?
It was great. And you see a lot of St. Louis local kids, which is also really nice to see.
Yeah.
In the starting lineup, I think they had 3 St. Louisans.
Yeah, I love that.
That's correct, St. Louis.
And they're fun to watch, man. Memphis is decent. Memphis has a really deep team, but that
It would really be fantastic if SLU could become a Louisville-type program.
Doug, we had it in the 1990s with
Yeah,
Springbowl.
we had it then.
it
yeah,
could easily
for a
be
few years.
Butler. I mean,
But I
consistent.
mean, just a
top
big, kind of
25.
a big city with no other pro basketball around, but to develop that where you're a top 10, top 15 program almost every year, that would really be cool.
Rick Majerus brought it for a period of time. They had a nice couple of runs there. Jimmy Cruz didn't let you down.
Don't let me down, Jimmy Cruz.
How is Fred Thatch still there?
Well, a lot of them got an extra COVID year, and then you get a redshirt year, and then you get hurt, and you're out a year.
He had to have been there for 6 or 7 years.
He's a redshirt junior.
Really, he still has another year.
Nice.
That's amazing. It seems like
year-
he was there forever.
COVID year that's the reason Jack Abraham is a 7th-year senior.
Yeah. I think if I'm not mistaken, Thatch already has a degree, and he's getting his master's or something else. And smart kid.
I remember reading an article when you remember Tim Tebow, that era, like how popular he was.
Was that 2006 to 2009?
I don't know the years, Tim.
I mean, that was crazy. And I remember a story when he was at a game or playing in a game. He graduated in 3 years. Could you imagine your 4th year? You have no classes to take. You are done. You are the hot man on campus,
All
about
over
to go to the NFL. That would be the best year of your life.
Probably.
That's the only reason Matt Leinart didn't go out in the draft. He said, no, I have too much fun in college.
Yeah, he graduated in 3 years too, and did.
Place, I was probably banging them 2 at a time.
Tebow might have been the biggest rock star
Still.
college athlete that I can remember.
Nobody will surpass that. No one.
Fred Thatch already has an MBA.
Oh, he's got
Look at
that
that.
too.
Just like most
So
people in
now
Sports Talk Radio.
going for a PhD, maybe?
I don't know.
Billikens have Maryland, and then Miami or Providence coming up. Doug, it's the Hall of Fame tip-off tournament this weekend. And is that in Uncasville, Connecticut?
Oh, I have no idea where the
How
game
did that
is.
place get a tournament?
Uncasville?
I never heard of it.
I've never heard of it either. I'm just
You
looking
gotta
at
see the
SLU
I don't like the name of it. I'll be upfront with you about
Then
that.
they will take on Missouri's rival from last year, Paul Quinn.
Is that the name of the school? Paul Quinn?
Paul Quinn. Missouri took him on last year. Billikens get him next year. Or,
hell is
excuse
that?
me, next week. And then they got to go to Auburn. There's a top 25 team with Bruce Pearl.
Seriously? Paul Quinn is this?
Yeah. we talked
Paul
about
Quinn
last year.
College.
I think it's an HBCU. Isn't
It is.
This entire town is basically a Mohegan Sun.
What?
Everything you search at.
Oh, so it's at a casino?
Yeah, it got. That's the only. I mean, logical place.
I would like a college named after me.
Well, what have you done to get it?
What has Paul Quinn done?
Well, he did something because they named it after him.
Kenny Stroud College.
Based on?
You'd probably have to donate a lot of money.
Define a lot. Probably give $20.
No, not enough.
That might cover it.
Not enough. Kenny,
Guys, Stetson Bennett is older than 7 or 8 quarterbacks in the NFL, and he's also cuter. That's from Alan Dadeville. Doug, rank your top 5 cute quarterbacks this year.
this year?
Jimmy Garoppolo has to be up there.
No, college.
I don't think I could give you 5.
Jackson
quarterbacks.
Dart's number one. No question about it.
Who's the kid from Pitt?
Yeah, he's pretty cute.
He's handsome.
Oh,
I don't
Slavis.
know. I just see him in the
Slavis?
helmets.
Hartman? Is there someone named Hartman? He's a little darling.
What do you got against Brady Cook?
Yeah.
I don't have anything against any of these
I've
fellas.
seen him play.
Sam Hartman for Wake Forest. He's one.
No, Jackson Dart. Look at that. The blonde locks. Cali kid.
So many
Ole
great
Miss
choices.
quarterback.
So many great choices. You can send in your top 5 hottest college quarterbacks.
It's an odd topic.
314-881-TMA5. You can also call in with them, 636-9004 TMA. Steve Schmidt Kia of North County. Phone lines and, of course, email in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Doug's sweet mother of mercy, it's cold out. What are we going to do about it? Well, we're going to make sure our furnace is working with Design Air Heating and Cooling and Seth Goldcamp.
Yeah.
And I see a 70% chance of snow at 8 o'clock. There's not a cloud in the sky,
Why
Jack.
can't we get a heads up on some of these storms?
Well, because you're looking at stupid apps.
This is the strangest thing. I just opened it up just to see the temperature, 29 degrees, woot woot. And at 8 o'clock, now this is on the iPhone weather app, 70% chance of snow.
Oh.
Am I missing something? There's no clouds. I know I'm just facing the south, but I was on the road just a half hour ago, and there was...
I'm looking at 1% chance
What's going on?
of precipitation currently.
I think that's why I listen to the Strodecast.
Yeah, I tell you, people not to look at apps. They're all different.
I'm seeing 90% chance of snow.
Where?
At my Apple app, 8 a.m., 90% chance of snow.
Well, I guess I'll go on the radar for the first time today.
I'm not.
Look. Maybe there's just an Alberta Clipper coming through, Doug. Either way, Seth Goldcamp's going to take care of everything. Design Air Heating and Cooling, DesignAirService.com, the official HVAC provider of TMA. And Doug's a client, and I'm a client. We recommend you become a client as well. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling online at DesignAirService.com for any furnace issues you may have. Become a friend of the feather.
By Sunday, we got a low temperature of 17 degrees. What's going on?
Dude, it started early. This is going to be brutal.
That's the Farmer's Almanac right there. I see no clouds where there could possibly be snow. There's no system. I think this thing's just going to appear.
Dump its snow, and then off it goes.
Yeah, like on our chest. Oh, there are clouds, kind of. All right.
I do see
random.
next week, though, a return to temperatures in the mid-50s.
Pony.
That's not bad.
Pony sundress season.
I'm glad I didn't put my shorts away for the year.
No. Mid-50s, we'll take that for Thanksgiving.
What I always say is the coldest day this week, morning this week, is Saturday morning. And I got to get up at like 6 and load about 9,000 things into 3 SUVs at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's like 15 degrees.
Oh, no.
I'll just sit inside, drink coffee, let everybody else box it up.
That's what you're going to do?
I got enough people coming over to do it.
Who's coming over to box?
Well, Tina, Kate, 8:30 recreators.
You're going to make the girls do it.
Well, they got a dolly.
Well, you could use the dolly. You could say, girls, you relax. You go have a cup of coffee. I'm the man here. I'll do the heavy lifting.
I'm a wuss.
Well,
I really am just... I bitch about it every year, but I hate cold weather, and I just live here all my life. I could leave if I wanted to.
sure.
Wouldn't take much to go to Florida. Probably probably couldn't find a job, but
Oh, you can always find jobs. Just how good a job
I'd be
can you
warm.
find?
I'd be warm. I wouldn't bitch about, oh, it's 20 degrees. No.
You'd bitch about, oh, a hurricane destroyed my house.
I was talking to Liv Maddox yesterday, in the, she does 2 to 6 at the Point. I was here yesterday till about 5 doing the, helping Joey with the golf video, which, Tim, good news. It may be out Thursday. It may be out beginning of next week. Joey's working on the Nagel video, and it's almost done. But she lived in Maine, and she said, oh, this isn't cold. I said, well, see, I bitch about it all the time. I said, I don't know why I live here. I hate cold weather.
Well, a lot of people do. That's why there's a great migration south.
That's why people live in, you lived in Minnesota? I couldn't do that.
I couldn't either.
That's just brutal.
I couldn't wait to get out. Couldn't wait.
I mean, we bitch about 25 degrees. I mean, Minnesota, 40 below it
Oh,
every
yeah, it's
day.
a big time winter there. Yeah, whole other level.
Couldn't do it. Back to you, Tim.
Sweet.
Doug, it is our Munganess St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour. Munganess has a great deal for the listeners right now, and that is you can get 0.99% financing on an Acura at stlouisacura.com between now and January 3rd, and that's 36 months at Munganess St. Louis Acura. Check that out. Go shopping right now. stlouisacura.com, altontoyota.com. It's Munganess. Work with Jamie Burkhardt, Clayton Patterson, and Peter Munganess. Even if you get your car from Munganess, get your car serviced, or get your car maintenance at Munganess. stlouisacura.com, altontoyota.com. Munganess, official automotive provider of TMA and sponsor of our 7 o'clock hour.
When you experience Munganess St. Louis Honda or Alton Toyota, you'll say, thank God I found these guys. I know where I'm going with my car for the rest of my life.
St. Louis Acura, Alton Toyota.
Yeah.
Not Honda, to be clear.
Oh, yeah. I said Honda.
Yeah.
I drove past it yesterday, and I said, oh, there's a Munganess Honda. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Acura.
They are not advertisers.
No.
St. Louis Acura is,
Right.
and Alton Toyota.
Best, absolute best in the business. You just can't go wrong taking your car there.
3 words. Peace of mind.
Think about that.
Those are three nice
buy a
words
car
there.
Real nice words.
Two words. Hot guys.
Nice.
Really hot
Clayton,
guys out there?
Ryan, Pete.
Mm.
Oh, Jamie.
Jamie,
Yeah.
Clayton, yeah.
Let's go.
So that's why you go, not because you get a great deal on your car, because they
Well,
fix it
same
so
with
well.
Biondo. You go for the eye care, but you stay for the smoke shows.
Oh, so after you get your eye exam, you just sit in the waiting room for longer periods of time and just watch the assistants walk around.
That's right. The
And you
rocket
can
ship
do
says
that.
the rocket ship says they're known.
Oh,
There's-
yeah.
The funny thing about Gobble is the team names people come up with. Danny Stack's team is Negro 111 at AOL.com.
We just changed the subject completely
but
right there.
somebody named their team Dr. Biondo's Rocket Ships.
Oh,
You were
okay.
talking rocket ships? If you just give me
Okay.
time, I will
All right.
tie things into what
Oh,
you're
it
talking
sounded
about.
like you were hijacking.
No, but yeah, somebody called their name the rocket ships.
That's not bad.
Doug, we have so much fun with audio here today. And Jackson and I are all in on Hot Wife Autumn. After interviewing her, the entire interview is up on the Tim McKernan Show podcast feed. But now we'll present the audio to the rest of the dais, and maybe you will believe,
All right.
or maybe you will still be a skeptic. Jackson, you have cut the audio. Whatever you think should be played in whatever order, you let the Plowhawk know.
Yes, sir.
Let's go with Hot Wife Autumn. Let's go with clip number 1, the arrangement of her and her husband.
Can I
So
ask
to be-
one question before you do this?
Go ahead.
Tim, is it true that you sent them the audio to approve it before you played it?
That's correct.
So there's some things that they may have. No.
Jackson, did they edit anything out?
No.
Okay. But they did ask to listen to it first.
Right.
That's correct.
Robots.
You think they're bots?
Yeah, probably.
So to reset for those of you who are not familiar with the story, on QFTA, my podcast, Tim McKernan Show podcast, Doug, we get erotic stories all the time. Now, usually
I can imagine.
they're Gangster Pete's buddies talking about pleasuring themselves. This was a surprising one because it involved a listener having sex with a female. They were like, whoa,
Yeah.
how'd that happen?
How weird is that?
And said she was a St. Louis 9, I believe. And turns out she was married, but her husband sent him a text encouraging him to engage in coitus with her. And they have this kind of arrangement that now they are seeing each other regularly. Here is Hot Wife Autumn on the Tim McKernan Show podcast, explaining her arrangement to Jackson and myself.
All right, hit the lever.
You and your husband, how would you describe your relationship? And just so you know, a number of people will hear this and be skeptical as to whether or not that this is real.
Right. So we are partners and we're best friends. And we, neither one of us associate sex with love or partnership. Both of us have a very high sex drive. And, I mean, we're just into it.
And so, are you both able to have sex with other people, or just you?
We both are.
Oh, okay.
So that's the arrangement.
Okay. Iggy, there was no label given.
Yeah, you asked her for that, and she. Yeah, I mean they're in an open relationship. It's pretty simple, and I mean if you're into that, you would know that was the title of what you. She couldn't give you one.
So you're skeptical she couldn't give the title.
Yeah, and I'm skeptical that she kind of him and hawed there for a minute before she talked.
No, she was looking at her notes.
Well, we both
where's the arrangement
best friend.
section?
It's pretty simple. We both fool around. The other doesn't care.
We both have a sex drive.
That was a quick answer.
Yeah.
Best friends, lovers, and sex drive.
All right, want to go to the next clip?
Well, I mean, the next clip's about anal.
Well, we can, and that's a good one. But
We can
Jackson.
come back to that one.
And listen, Doug, that's fun. It's wonderful.
It isn't.
Because I see clip 4 is about her lesbianic past.
Called Sapphic.
Sapphic, thank you. But as far as trying to try this case, what else do we have that can help provide Pepper, Jeannie, and Doug with more information?
it was hard for me cutting the clips because sometimes, like, I mean, we did an hour-long interview. Like, it's tough for me.
It was a deposition. It was a
Such an important
deposition.
topic.
Thank you.
In like 1-minute clips, it's too difficult for me to like pick out something that they. But I think they can.
No, I actually agree with Jackson.
Was her husband with her?
Pain.
No,
Oh.
not to my knowledge.
Well, that
it was
would've
just her
helped.
on the phone.
If they had both been there saying, "Yeah, we do this," that would have helped a little.
Did she say how the husband happened to get the guy's phone number to text him and say, "Go ahead and bang my wife"?
She gave it to him.
So she got his phone number and then gave it to her husband.
That's correct.
Okay.
Didn't sound like you're convinced.
You meet a bartender, and the first thing he says, "Give me your phone number."
Well, I think it came about just like you get a number, you know.
I thought they hooked up right there at the bar. Where
No.
She was working at the bar.
you know, I thought. Anyway, that didn't do anything for me.
You're kind of fed up with the whole story.
No, I'm
already.
just saying
We're
that
just getting into it.
text that clip didn't do anything for me as far as changing my mind.
I think the lesbianic thing will. I don't know why, but I think it'll cause a stir throughout the studio.
Really? Is that right?
Well, yeah, I think that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to what Iggy and Plowsy have to say about her lesbianic past.
Okay. Doug, here is Hot Wife Autumn on her lesbianic past.
Okay.
And Jackson doesn't have the courage to ask, so I will ask. He just passed me a note to ask. Have you ever been with a woman?
Yes, I have.
Wow. Like within the last 48 hours, or just was this like in college and we were drunk at the bar and okay, I'll kiss her if you give me $10.
Right.
He.
Soft skin and
Right.
such.
Yeah, soft skin.
No, I had a girlfriend for a few years.
Oh God, Jackson.
And before you ask, we did scissor, and it's amazing.
I'll be right back.
There you go. She's been prepped.
So you think she was prepped because she
obviously doesn't listen to the show, so the guy told her about scissoring.
Most women listen to this show.
She was seeking your approval when she said that.
No, she was prepped for this.
Jackson, that didn't help convince the dais at all. If anything, it made them larger skeptics.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you got to shoot the score, I guess.
We've learned nothing except that she's got a husband that lets her cheat, and she used to be with a woman. Anybody could call
I
in
thought
and
you
say
said
that.
if the husband approves it, then it's not cheating.
Did I say cheat?
You just did.
No, not cheating. I mean, she has sex with other men.
But he gets to have sex with
He gets
other
to have
women.
sex with other women. It's an open relationship, even though she didn't know the
Yeah,
word.
I thought I asked her. So it's an open relationship. She said no because it's just sex. It's not like they have relationships with other people as an emotional.
Yeah, but
relationship.
that's still.
I don't know. I mean, these are her words.
I think a hot wife is when you can have a relationship with another person.
She went out of
Open
her way to
relationship is
bring
just-
up scissoring for a reason.
She did.
And Tim, it is scissoring.
Yeah, we
Did I
did.
get that,
We
did I get
did
that right, Bill?
trib.
Okay, thank you. I read the notes right.
Her gentleman caller is sending messages, not her husband, but the gentleman who in the interview was known as Darnell.
He's a gentleman caller.
And he said, actually, he didn't text me. It was via Facebook Messenger.
Ooh.
Ooh, romantic. Let me get on my donut.
I get a lot of Facebook messages. I've never got one from a husband of someone asking me to Roger their wife.
Well, you did get one from a guy that said, "Can I be your friend?"
Yeah, but that's, I mean, at least that's wholesome.
What if you did get a message like that from someone?
Then you have to assess, Doug. Is this a trap?
What's the message
Yeah.
say? You want to bang my wife? Like,
Just out of nowhere.
context is
It's not
key
necessarily
with
like an
message.
organic, like, hey, have you been, as a family?
Well, you
bang
wouldn't
my
want to do
wife?
it with the risk of getting shot in the back of the head. Or
Right,
No.
right. If I don't know the people, then I'll probably pass.
Well, he didn't know this lady. She was a bartender.
Well, no. So it's important to note that she owns the establishment. She said that in the interview. She owns the establishment.
All right, well, they didn't get their story straight.
Now they have a reason to justify the
And why would you
$10,000
need
rock on the finger.
Why would you need to Facebook message the guy? I mean, if the girl said that we're in an open relationship and you want to come back and have sex, why would he need permission from the husband? He doesn't know the husband or the boyfriend or whatever.
Well, because he didn't want to potentially break up a home.
Yeah, that's no excuse.
That never hurt anybody.
I'm pretty turned off if the husband actually messages me and goes, I approve of you having sex with my wife.
Yeah.
I think that loses a lot of steam
I think so.
in like the whole thing.
Find the
Darnell has
mystery
just
of it
sent me
all.
another DM. Darnell says she said they don't call it open because they both have to approve who each other is with. They can't just go and sleep with people. That is from Darnell, Doug.
Well, yeah, swingers are the same way. Swingers.
So you
can't
say
just-
they're swingers?
no, but swingers can't just go have sex with whoever they want. Husband and wife are involved, but it's still swingers. So just because you have to get permission, I mean, that's fine. That's still an open relationship. Yeah, you can have sex with them. That's an open relationship.
Guys, I just want to make sure I heard this correctly for my transcription. It's not cheating. You just said if the husband knows, it's not cheating. I said cheat? Yes. Well, it's not cheating. Great backtrack, Boots. That's from Big Tough.
No, I just misspoke.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go into another studio. I'm gonna cut a couple more clips and try to piece this all together so that we can get a better idea.
Jackson, you're selling, but the dais ain't buying.
I'm trying. I want. I think the anal clip actually could,
Oh,
could,
Why not
could
the
bolster the
one?
situation. I think it could.
I'm
I
not saying
think
your
that one's
interview-
got legs.
I'm not saying your interview didn't do anything yet, but I haven't heard a clip yet that would change my mind.
This
Well,
ain't
I
the
have to
one.
tell you, if I'm in your spots as skeptics, I understand where you're coming from. Because the clips, but I don't know. Jackson heard the whole thing. He was on the interview. He was in the interview. So maybe there just aren't clips that help convince.
But in the 2 weeks, he never mentioned the bar owning until now. Like, I think that's also a little weird that we're skeptical of why she has a huge diamond ring and working behind the bar.
Well, you can 10 bar and own the establishment.
No, that's
Sure.
not my point. Is like Darnell has been listening to us critique the story for 2 weeks now, and one of the main critiques for myself was, why does she have a diamond so big and she's a bartender? So like he could have pieced that one together immediately and said, oh well, she owns the establishment, and that would have laid that to bed. But
I think she addressed the diamond ring thing by saying it's not as big. It was represented in the email, but he brought up that she had a ring because he wanted to point out that he recognized she was married. That was the way that was explained. John Lithgow's Harry Henderson just texted in and said, for once, Pepper and Jeannie are spot on. This is 100% fake.
I don't doubt there's people that live that kind of lifestyle and have those kind of arrangements. The questionable thing is if one of our listeners could possibly be good enough to hook up with a Crystal City 9.
Crystal City does.
Well, he's been with her again, he said.
That is correct.
Yeah, it's very simple. We're not going to share the picture, but just for the dais, it's very simple. Take a picture of the both of you and send it in. And if this girl has got a nice ring and a bunch of tattoos and then yes, I'd believe it. Then I just need proof.
What do the tattoos have to do with it?
She said, didn't he say she had a bunch of tattoos?
Yes, and piercings.
Yeah, so
Nice.
unless you can spend some time in Crystal City trying to find another girl with all that and say, take a picture with me.
But wasn't that also to play up to Tim, the tattoos and the piercings?
They do know what I like.
Yeah. This is
Scissoring,
all geared to
tattoo,
get Tim excited.
piercings.
Well,
This is a lemming, giant lemmings
Now,
play.
to be fair, she was confused about what an MMF was. So you would think if she was getting fed answers, MMF.
And
would
said
come
she
up.
wanted an MMF, right? But hasn't had it.
Yeah, she wanted some more stuff.
Oh, that's
Boy, was
right.
it graphic.
It was graphic.
There were some times when I was sitting
May
there,
have
I was
to
like,
listen
man,
then.
this is getting out of hand.
It was legitimately graphic. Yeah, she wants the old 6'4", Doug. But
Well, Herbert Hoover.
but Darnell said he is not willing to participate because he doesn't want to feel his balls against another gentleman's balls.
I think that's a very common complaint. It's called the slap factor.
Yep, so it is. Slap factor,
a slap
spin
terror.
rate, smash factor.
Yeah, you don't want to be too close.
Especially if someone's dangling.
They're not from Crystal City, you moron. That's from the 314, from the total package. The bar is not in Missouri.
So Festus, I guess.
This is
Right next
this
to
is as
Crystal
fake as Iggy's Doppler. That's from Sonia.
It's not even in Missouri, the bar?
It's, it's
Illinois.
down there in Crystal City. But just about a half hour south of here.
Well, it doesn't matter where it is. Where's he from?
Festus.
So you go from Festus to find a bar in Crystal City?
It's right next to each other. They're the Twin Cities.
I mean,
They're
there's
connected.
Not one truthful statement that's
Well,
going
I've never been to.
Connected.
I've never been to either city.
Well, I've been to both, and they're connected.
I've dated a girl from Festus, but I never went to her place.
Oh, of course. You made her come get you.
That was too far to drive.
So she drove and honked outside, and you came down the staircase all dressed up, ready to go, and dashed out to her car.
Guys, old Ken is asking for a photo of both of them for proof. In reality, he just wants to see her naked to wax his dolphin to it.
Well, I don't think in my question or my request I said naked picture. I don't think that came out of my mouth.
Doug Darnell has issued a statement. Yes, I did know the husband. We had met multiple times, and I 100% did not want to be a homewrecker. I didn't mention owning the bar, as I'm trying to respect that they do not want their identity out. That was a detail I let her share. The scissoring, I absolutely prepped her on.
Oh.
Once she told me she had a lesbian past, I asked about it and told her she had to share that with Tim. Doug,
Sure.
That's from Darnell.
Lemming. And Darnell is from the greater Imperial Herculaneum area. And he goes south a little farther when he's feeling frisky down to Crystal City.
That's a big shot.
So you knew the husband, but didn't know the wife behind the bar.
Darnell, the action's back on you.
Poor Darnell, if this is real.
Guys, regardless of whether or not this is true, the interview is fascinating, and it keeps the audience wanting more. Doug, wasn't that the, that's from the 618, wasn't that the model of the Jason Barrett?
I believe it was, yeah.
She
He
kind
believes
of
in keeping the content fresh, leaving the audience
yeah.
wanting more.
she kind of has that pack a day for 20 years type voice. I don't know if she recently quit.
Heavy smoker,
Seems like it.
Marlboro Unfiltered.
A lot deeper than I thought a quote-unquote 10 supermodel.
Oh.
Really?
Remember, 10 supermodel is
Yeah,
the...
if a supermodel had the supermodel looks but talk like a heavy smoker, had that real heavy
Nina
deep voice,
Blackwood.
would that ruin it for you?
It
Would she stop being a supermodel at
it
that
would
point?
100% ruin it for me.
I don't know if ruin would be the right word, but it certainly wouldn't be a positive.
Oh.
No question about that. Brian Henson is the show's ombudsman, and he is covering the Jeff Saturday Colts. I dated a girl in Festus. 6 Flex, you overripe strawberry. Go take a smoke break. That's from Brian Henson, and he is the show's ombudsman. And
6 Flex?
What's a
that?
6 flex?
Sick Flex.
What does that mean?
He's flexing his
Like
muscles.
bad brag.
I'm not bragging. I just said I've never been there. I dated a girl from there, but I never went there.
And she had to come pick you up in Brentwood. You're not going that
She
far
wanted to go
south.
out, yeah.
Is there a smell in Festus?
Oh, for heaven's sakes.
All I know is she came out
Say
to the
hit.
house. She came out to the house one day in July with a leather jacket on and big black boots.
Nice.
I said, it's July, right? It's like 98 out
You
there.
got mad at
This
her
is
as soon as
July.
she shows up. She gets dressed up to
Hello,
come
you
see
think
you,
you know?
and you get mad at her.
It's just Festus. It's all in the way you dress.
Plowsy's
talking
right.
about-
She's a Sullivan 3 at best. That's
Yep.
from Ken's Wedding Toast.
Well, that's even farther.
Iggy really thinks he's a lawyer trying a case with these questions. That's from Bubbles.
I'm not a lawyer. I'm just the whole point of.
Hi,
Ziggy.
Oh, there's your supermodel 10.
She was
She's a
hot back in the
dimer.
day and still talk like that. What do you mean a lawyer? Am I just supposed to sit there and say, "Yep, love it, good job, yep,"
And smile
job.
when you're not talking.
good job, yes,
Oh, yeah.
I love it, yes, it's real. The whole point of playing this is to see if it's real or not.
Right.
Diggy is absolutely fuming right now because someone is sharing an actual sexual story instead of lies about betting possible teenagers in the Bahamas. That's from the 608.
Dude,
608.
That one got you, didn't
that's
it?
a
I can
cricket.
tell that one got you.
That's a burner.
no, if he thinks
You
I'm
get
lying-
upset with some of
if
these
he thinks
texts.
I lie about my conquest, no.
I just don't want to see you crestfallen.
I just don't, I'm just, the whole point of this is to see if it's real or not. That's why we're playing the clips, aren't we? I'm not playing it for enjoyment.
Mr. Licks is an investigator, and he says the girl said she was 5'10", 150. I repeat, that is not a St. Louis 9, especially after hearing her voice. The listeners need to stop fantasizing about this because the people involved are definitely subpar.
Oh,
Did she really say 5'10", 150?
Mr. Licks, I believe I asked
Okay.
her so the audience could visualize what she looked like, and she said 5'10", 150.
she's a
But
tall
you-
drink of water.
She also
drink of
has
water.
triple
Triple
32
D.
triple D.
Doug, she paid $15,000 for her breast.
Oh, really?
Well,
I thought the average breast augmentation surgery was like around 5,000, but that might just be from old Howard Stern episodes where
Yeah,
he
she
would
put-
like buy them and they would be 5,000. Maybe inflation's hit that industry too.
Well,
I don't
I'm
know.
sure it has.
I think the silicone is.
But she got them like 7 years ago. Didn't she say that, Jackson?
Yes, she said it was a while ago, but I do understand where she's coming from. It's like, if you're going to do it, like, don't get the great value version. Like,
Went from an
pay
A
for more.
cup to a triple D.
Wow.
How about that?
That's a lot. You went from like basically a training bra to elephant harness.
Oh, oh,
Vivid.
So
elephant harness.
$15,000 boob job.
Nothing wrong with that. And 5'10", 150. We're not here to
Body shape.
critique her looks. I'm sure she's an attractive woman, but we're talking about the story.
Darnell says 5'10", 145 pounds, and not an ounce of fat on her. That's from Darnell.
Great.
It's more in response to Mr. Licks.
Yeah, I just want to see a picture.
Yeah, I do think, and I'm not saying I want a full frontal, but this does really hinder on the look of this female. I hate to say it.
What does?
The believability of this.
Which part? What part has hindered the believability?
The fact that if she's a 10 smoke show, it'd just be very odd that she'd be in this sort of relationship in Illinois. I don't know.
It's straight down 55.
It's just, it's hard for me to wrap my
Why
brain
is it so
around
hard to
that.
believe that there's a guy walks into a bar, sees a beautiful girl, says, "Oh boy, I'd like to have sex with her." She says, "I'm married, but I'll do it anyway."
But he
That's
already,
basically what's happening here.
he already knew the husband, so he should have known that she was up for doing that. There shouldn't have been any questions involved. If he said, "I already knew the husband."
Even if
Well,
this
you
was,
could know someone and not know what their arrangement is behind closed doors.
Come on, if you knew the husband and you see the wife there and she says she wants to have sex, well, you should have known the wife already if you'd known the husband.
Well, I know plenty of guys, and I don't know their wives.
I have
you?
to agree with Doug on that.
Well, isn't it a small world, though, that you've known the husband, but then you just happen to meet the wife that's in a bar? Wouldn't he have known that the husband owned a bar? And that would
I
have
don't
been
know.
that was the bar he owned.
You know, Crystal City's a small
I think
town.
that would come up a little bit. You know, I've known you for a long time. I've never known you owned a bar. You owned a bar. I just happened to be in the bar you owned, and I banged your wife.
Oh,
I mean, even if I saw a porno like this, I'm like, this isn't really even believable.
And it's a great story. I don't know why you would care if we believe it or not. Nobody believes my stories. And I really don't care, but I know they happen. So you should just be happy that if it did happen. But it'd be simple now, because now that we understand she has triple Ds, I'm sure in Crystal City there's not a ton of 5'10", 150 tatted up triple Ds around.
Just to restate, they're not in Crystal City.
Well,
Festus.
so if you take a picture, and I want her to stand in front of one of the boards that you,
Herculaneum.
like when you get a mugshot, it has the height. Get her in front of that where I can see she's 5'10", show those boobs and all the tats, and you in it.
And then you will believe it.
Then I'll believe it.
So basically, you want a centerfold.
Darnell has issued a statement, Doug. I met the husband after meeting her. I went back to the bar a couple times after meeting her, and he was there. That's when I thought we were all just going to be friends until things progressed. 5'10", 145 pounds, not an ounce of fat on her. I did not already know the husband.
I could have swore that's what was in a text before, that you already knew the husband.
I just read
I
whatever's
don't
in
know.
front.
They may have met at Kimswick someday at the Apple Butter Festival.
Hey, don't bash
yeah,
Kimswick, man.
Isn't it where Sheryl
Place
Crow's from?
rocks.
I don't know. Is she from Kimswick?
I think Sheryl Crow's from Kimswick.
She is from a small town in southeast Missouri, Poplar Bluff. I thought it began with a K.
Yeah. What is that?
Kimswick?
No,
it's near
Kimswick
Poplar
is
Bluff.
close.
Kennett, Missouri.
Kennett?
Yep.
There's some celebrity from St. Louis from Kimswick.
Kimswick's very small.
That strawberry salad at Blue Owl.
The Blue Owl.
Yeah, I've been there, yeah.
Oh, man, that place bomb.
Guys, just based on the fact that Iggy and Plowsy are so convinced it is not real, that should be enough for everyone else to realize it's 100% true. That's Steve in Wildwood.
That makes no sense.
Well, I didn't believe Becky Wiesberger for a second.
No, me
Oh,
neither.
come on.
Oh, no way.
She owns the bar, but she also works a day job? It doesn't make any sense. Mr. Licks is right there with Pepper and Jeannie.
Well, I can see if you owned a bar, if you were a bartender, you save money on paying a bartender.
And she said she just enjoys doing it.
Yeah, there are people that have two jobs.
No, that's not a problem for me.
Well, you got to pay off the $15,000 boob job.
Well, and real estate is very high in Crystal City, so you need two jobs to afford the house.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, those double wides are going like crazy right now.
I'm not making fun of the town. I've never been there.
Because it's not even Crystal City, and I've never been there, so I don't even know.
Oh, I
Read the
have.
story. Because
Guys, why are we looking for approval from the crustacean who lies about everything? This is the guy who gets butthurt and defensive when someone questions his fables. He can't have it both ways. That's from St. Mary Magdalene Principal Sisters Catherine Patricia.
listen, Pat, I've told you many times, go ahead and try to find one of my stories that is false. If you have to do it, any of you, you try to critique everything. This guy just happened to send in an erotic story to Tim. Tim read it. Well, what kind of segment would it have been if Tim said, what do you think? Love it. Let's move on. No, we critiqued it. And now we're critiquing the sound drop, the bites. And so far, nothing has changed my mind.
No.
I just tried to cut some more clips, and the whole interview is what you need. The whole thing.
Doug, should we just play the hour-long interview?
Thank you.
no, listen,
Love
I
that
guess we
idea.
could.
Nothing against Tim, his
Love-
interviews, but I've listened to a lot of them, but I got things to do.
Right, and it's
What do you have to do? Between 7 and 10 in the morning, what do you have to do but this? And even after 10.
I got TV to watch and
Oh, you got to knock out some episodes.
things to do, but no, I have no interest in just listening to her talk about her sex life for an hour.
Guys, Autumn also said Darnell wasn't the sharpest and wasn't picking up what the relationship status was between them. That's why the husband had to message Lil Darnell. That's from Bubbles.
Well,
Sounds like Bubbles buying in.
I could see how Darnell, coming from Herculaneum, hasn't been in a relationship like this before and didn't want to just come out and blurt it out. Oh, you mean we can have sex and your husband won't care? He was probably trying to tiptoe around that.
Oh, hey, look, the Triple D's, not an ounce of fat, huge rock, owns this bar. Of course you want to bang me.
Yeah,
Who
sure.
hasn't been in that situation
Right.
in your dreams or in a made-up porn fancy?
Oh,
Just stop.
Well,
Love
if you really
Darnell.
really
Love
want to
the
break it
effort,
down,
too. I
if you
mean,
really
it
want to break
is.
it down, and I'm not going to, go back and listen to Tim read the erotic story, and then listen to this, because it was so long ago, I can't remember everything in the erotic story, but I thought there was something to the fact of, I went up to the bar, and she's hot, and she said she wanted to bang me. How could you misread that?
that's I understand what you're saying, but that's not how the story went. It wasn't.
Again, it was read a couple weeks ago, I don't remember.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. But it wasn't like, hey, I want to bang you. Like it kind of organically happened, if I'm not mistaken.
So he didn't know anything until the husband had to text him and say, bang my wife.
Well, she texted him, "You're so effing sexy," to which he replied, "You're so effing married."
Yeah.
All right, so nothing happened until the husband said, go ahead.
Right. Well, because he doesn't. Like,
And then he just happened to say, "Hey, I know you."
huh?
He said he knew the husband before, so he got a DM from this
He
guy.
clarified that he didn't know the husband until he met her.
A lot of clarifications.
I'm getting confused now. Didn't he say he knew the husband already?
No, I reread the thing that Darnell sent in. He's
Oh,
adamant
God,
about
I'm
this.
just-
I met the husband after meeting her. Darnell has just sent in that Autumn is listening and is quite disappointed in the two Hoosiers. Like, that could be any of us.
I definitely talk about me and Iggs.
Well, invite me over to the house and.
Now you want in on this.
Then you don't have to send a picture. Invite me. Well, you got to come to my house. I'm not driving to Crystal City.
Oh,
You'll
come on
be
by.
laying down
Come on by.
straight on your back in the bedroom.
Come on by. I'll make you dinner. And
Festus is a little closer than Crystal. Could you meet in Festus? It's like one exit up.
no, I'm not driving.
Oh.
He's not driving at
Although
all.
I love my car. I love my RAV4 from Munganess, but I'm not driving to Festus. Yeah, come on over. I'll cook you dinner, and we'll see how many tats you have and your triple Ds, and then we'll.
We're going to go through this again.
I think I'm more interested in seeing the picture of the husband. I think I can judge if it's real, even just
What would he have to
based
look
upon
like?
a rich, 20 years older than her.
Can't keep up
Guy?
with her, maybe?
Yeah.
No, you
Just
think
happy
that's
to-
the situation?
Just happy to have her.
I said
when
But
he
that
gets
the
she,
other
but
day.
she said that he's slept with like 3 people himself.
Yeah, that is odd. That's
I didn't know that until talking with Hot Wife Autumn.
Well, I mean, if they're allowed to have sex with other people, I would think that.
So I wouldn't consider, if I'm following definitions correctly, if he gets to have sex with other women and she gets to have sex with women and men, to me that isn't a hot wifing situation.
No, that's an open relationship.
Yeah, but they don't like to call it that. That's their own thing.
Well, I mean, you don't have to use the terms. That's fine, but it is an open relationship.
Biff, Doug, as you know, is a litigator, and he would like
Sure.
to comment on this. He was on the
Okay.
Steve Schmidt Kia North County phone lines. Good morning, Biff.
Good morning, men.
Hello, Biff.
How are we doing today?
Well, we're okay. How are you?
I'm okay. Why is the men on the dais so down on the Festus region?
Well, we're not. We're not. I love Mammoth State Park.
I just said I've never been there.
Well, there's something's being negative said around the Festus region. I don't understand why.
Well, nothing. Festus, Crystal City. It's the Twin Cities. I've been singing its praises. I've been there. It's nice enough little towns.
No, there's lots of negativity about the Festus region. I've been listening. Why is that?
Oh.
Does that offend you?
Yes, it did. I did 5 years in the U.S. Army, Missouri National Guard in Festus. So,
Oh, did you?
there's a...
All right. Well,
Yeah.
What'd you think of it when you were there?
thank you for your service. I just never been to Festus. I'm not poo-pooing Festus. I just said I don't want to drive there.
Well, look, there's not much else to do down there, so they breed a lot, and that creates a lot of people, and that creates a lot of hot chicks.
Is that
trust me,
right?
there's a lot of smoke shows down there, Doug. That's why I stayed in the Army for 5 years. Yeah.
Really? Because of the women in
yeah.
Festus.
Oh, my God, yeah. Oh, Festus, Herculaneum, yeah, Crystal City. Yeah, you're talking smoke show 10s. I'm telling you.
You ever meet the Clam Hammer?
Clown Hammer, what?
Crystal City Clam Hammer. He's a texter, emailer.
Yeah, I think he's on Jackson's Mount Rushmore, if I'm not mistaken.
No, Jeffco Gentleman, St.
that's
Charles
right.
Hermaphrodite took him over.
Oh, no, I never met him. But, that was, I got out about, that was like, 20 years ago.
Maybe you've banged this girl and don't even know it.
Well, I don't know. But I'm just saying there's a lot of good-looking gals down there. I mean, the one gal I was seeing down there, she made it in Maxim magazine in bikini, as a bikini model.
Huh?
Yeah,
Who
almost
was
everybody
that?
down there if you paid enough.
Well, I'm just saying there's a lot of good-looking gals down there, so I don't know why. Plowboy's being awful quiet. I think he was doing the most bashing.
He was doing some chirping.
Yeah, well, it's not bashing. It's just critiquing. I just don't
What do you-
believe the story. Are you talking about the Festus thing?
Well, I don't know. What's this story? Where did this story come from?
Oh, I don't know. We've been talking about it for 2 weeks. Just about a guy walking into a bar, seeing a St. Louis 10 who's married but wants to bang. Oh, and she's the bar owner.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
That's just bullet points, Biff, of the story.
And Iggy and Plowhawk are very skeptical as to whether or not the story is true. I interviewed her. Her name is Hot Wife Autumn. And I interviewed her, and Jackson and I have come away from the interview believing the story is 100% true. So that's
Hi, Iggy.
There she is, right
there's
there.
a little clip of the opening of the interview.
If she had that voice, you'd say, yeah, it's probably true.
Huh. Who called that story in?
Are we going to recap the whole thing?
Darnell.
Darnell.
Have you ever been involved in a hot wife situation, Biff?
Hot wife situation.
Yeah.
Nope. I try to stay away from the married gals, Doug, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. It's good advice. It's good advice.
Yeah, but the hot wife means that she has permission. You're not really cheating.
That is true. He's right there.
Huh. Whole nother scenario.
Yeah,
Be
indeed.
damned.
That's why we're so flummoxed by it all.
Clouds are
Sounds
rolling
made
in,
up.
Tim.
What's it?
Clouds are rolling in.
So the random snow at 8 is going to happen. Bat crap.
It's going to snow at 8 o'clock.
Supposed to, you know.
That's what our apps are saying. Iggy's skeptical of it, though.
You get my text last night, Biff?
I went and picked your wheelbarrow for the charity up yesterday, Iggy.
All right, buddy. You are the best.
Yeah, you got a brand new one this year. Brand new one, nice and new.
You going to be at Gobblebull, Biff?
I'll be there. I'll go for the whole day, Tim.
Yeah, well, I'll be there. It's going to be a pony. A lot of sapphic
you're
play, I
there.
hear tell.
Yeah, that's cool, Tim. You're going to be there first time ever, huh?
No, I've been a couple times, but it's my wife and I, it's our anniversary on November 19th, so we're usually out of town. We go where we got married, but since it got wiped out by the
washed
hurricane,
away, yeah.
we are not going this year. We were supposed to be out of town.
Oh, I see. Okay. You going to be there, Doug?
Sure.
Okay.
Do you have another question?
All you guys?
I don't know, Biff. We're just so into this story, trying to pick that apart.
Yeah, we're trying to critique it, and so far, Plowsy and I don't believe it, but that shouldn't matter to this guy. If it happened, he should be happy, and I don't care what they think. I had some sex.
I don't think it really matters to any of them. It only seems to matter to us when it really happened.
Well, the girl called in to try and verify that it happened, but
It's just being nice.
it's a great story.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of the QFTA, is when Tim gets the erotic stories.
That's right.
I think people
We
have
dive
a
into them.
People have a tendency to make stuff up to make Tim happy. And now the girl called in to make Tim even happier.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a two-pronged win.
Two-pronged.
Two-pronged win. She did say she's 5'10" and that she won't go out with gentlemen. What was the number, Jackson?
Under 6 feet.
Under 6 feet. I thought she might have said she has a preference of at least 6'2", but I could be off, or 6'3" even. But I
Nobody
don't
in
know.
this dais. Well, Doug, you're about 6'1", aren't you?
6 foot.
Maybe close. Wear some lifts.
So I mean, if she was, looking to really humor me, that wrapped that up.
Yeah.
She's not coming to my house.
She will not be coming to your place.
Well, I'm like 5'8.5".
Stephen Wildwood says he said she's 8.5 to a 9. Iggy is so jealous, and Plowsy is so effing high. Most of the people Iggy banged are dead. So how would we prove your tales are lies? That's from Stephen. He's in Wildwood. He's not happy about it.
I'm high, but I still got my wits about me.
And Iggy's decided the only reason that he'll never hook up with her is because he's 5'8".
Yeah, 5'8.5".
That's the only disqualifier.
Yeah.
You don't want to be an Eskimo brother to Darnell.
Maybe 5'9".
Otherwise, sure.
How can I be jealous of a fake story? I can make them up. And I did. I did live on the air last week in about a 2-second
Would
span.
you
I
like to
made
make
one
up another one? We
No.
enjoy your
It
story.
was so hot, man.
No, but
You hear it on the
if I'm wrong and it happened, congratulations to him.
Yeah.
But I don't know why you need our approval. But you've given me no reason to believe it yet.
What's the brother of Eskimos mean?
It means like if me and Iggy bang the same girl at separate times, me and Iggy would be Eskimo brothers.
Yeah,
Like
that kinda
you
like
have
a-
sex with the same
Oh.
person that someone else has.
You know how many Eskimo brothers I have?
How many?
Probably got a
About
damn
15,
count full.
20, 25, 30.
Is that similar to a Dutch rudder?
Man, I'm afraid to look that up, and I'm
I don't
also
know what
afraid to
Dutch
ask
Renner?
you what
Rich Renner, Doug, remember him?
Good
Also
umpire. Yelled a lot.
Occasionally he'll text in. Biff, we got to go. We got a couple things we got to get to. Thank you so much.
Well, yeah, we'll talk to you later.
All right, Biff.
God,
It's like he just rolled out of bed and wanted to know what was going on.
Hey, Gape, I will clamp your nipples, brand your cheeks, and toilet train you, you bitch. Doug, that's from the recovering alcoholic.
Who was he sending that to?
I don't know.
Anybody who'll take it.
Toilet train. I don't even know I don't know what that means.
No, let's not look into it.
Whenever someone else gets Tim's attention with a story, Iggy gets incredibly triggered into single orange male mode. He's like a simp, Incredible Hulk. You can act like a man! That's from Arbor Day.
I really don't know what you people see. I mean, what makes you think that I'm jealous because somebody else got Tim's attention? I get to sit next to the guy every day for
It's
15
incredible
hours
to
a
be
week.
able to
I
do
mean,
it.
you guys should be jealous. What do I have to be jealous about? It's funny, though, and I like Ann Arbor's.
Iggy just set his shoe on fire.
Yeah, that was an attention day. I'm looking for attention. Nobody's talking about me. I'm going to set my shoe on fire.
And you did.
I still think the funniest text was when Tim and Learn and other Tim and Anne Marie were setting up a double date, and that, or at Alvin Oak, and that text about Iggy waiting outside, pouring gasoline on his entire body.
That was funny.
Ricky, did you go to
defend
Eagles
it
last?
all.
The Eagles last night?
I did not.
You did not. I saw Learn was
I couldn't
Facebook
get
Live.
I couldn't get. I thought I was going to get tickets. I couldn't get tickets.
Really?
They
Yeah, they
sold
were-
out, and that's usually when staff won't get tickets if a concert sells
Oh,
out.
understandably.
Because, yeah, that's fine because they give them all away, and that's what they're for, is for listeners. But
How old are those guys now? They got to be 60-something.
70s.
Wasn't Glenn
They're
Fry's
70s.
son now replaced him? Am I right on that, or am I off? Vince Gill?
Yeah, Vince Gill is the guitar player and lead singer. He pretty much took over for Glenn Fry.
Okay.
And is it Dylan Fry, I think is his kid's name? Has been to a few shows and played guitar and some things. But I saw some clips. Learn posted something live last night, and a couple other people on Facebook were posting videos. Boy, they still sound great, man. Don Henley can still sing. And the only thing I don't like is when, if I was in a band that big, I would tell the people, don't sing. I was listening to Desperado. Somebody had live last night, and they're playing Desperado, and everybody's singing. I said, stop singing. I came to hear the band, not the 15, 20,000 people singing Desperado. Stop.
Why? That's what they enjoy.
There was one guy.
A little sing-along.
I guess he was upset. He was filming it, and there's this couple that were just standing up, just dancing with each other, slow dancing and kissing, and
Bill,
right in front of her. I said, sit down.
Yeah, you do see some bizarre behavior at those concerts.
But I wanted to go. I was hoping to get tickets, and I didn't. So
Do they have any for sale, like right at the last second?
I'm not buying them.
There you go, Doug.
Oh, and those would be $300 a ticket at least.
Could you just call Vince and ask him to give you tickets?
Vince Gill, I think I made fun of him being in the band at one point without him really knowing.
Yeah, that was good. Good strategy.
I mean, I know him as a country singer, so that was my bad for just saying he's a country singer. He can't possibly sing Eagles songs, and he was very good. So
There you go.
I was wrong.
Look at that, Doug. Look at that. Guys, Biff's disdain for the Festus slander was top-notch. He was legitimately on tilt about it. P.S. Tim, can we be Eskimo brothers? December 8th, the night of the awards, seems like a good night. Doug, that's from Scott's Wrinkled Ballsack. I feel like I'm being propositioned.
It does feel that way. You know.
The Eagles were legit with Don Felder and Randy Meisner.
Yeah, that was
From
back
the
in
bastard
days.
James Hahn.
And they got pissed off because I think at the time Glenn Fry and Don Henley were taking double points as far as money, giving themselves double, and they didn't like that. And I've read stories where Glenn Fry was not very nice. He was very belligerent to those other guys, and so I think that's why Meisner left the band. But yeah, they were back in the day. But Timothy B. Schmidt still kills it.
Doug, was he in Poco?
Poco, yes.
Really?
That's why I said I've seen almost all of them except for Eagles. I've seen Don Henley. I've seen Joe Walsh when he was with Joe Walsh in Barnstorm, and I saw Poco, but I've never seen the Eagles. So
Hey, Ken, do you find it odd that you comment on like every single one of Learn's social media posts? Thanks. That's from Harrison's brother Master.
I don't think I do, but thank you for keeping track of it. You must go back and watch all of her things too. So you're a bigger creep than me. No, I don't comment on all of them.
It's a banty day, and it's unfortunate.
If it's something that I like, sure, I'll comment.
Doug, it is the holidays, and it is a perfect gift, which is mysoundstory.com. Go and get a gift certificate or enter promo code TMA, and you can come in and do an interview with me, with Doug, with Jackson, and now John Hewlett, Randy Carricker, Riz, Patrico, Moon, Courtney from The Arch, and Learn from KC95, all available, and you can make your pick, get a gift certificate, or schedule an interview. Somebody scheduled one with John Hewlett. mysoundstory.com, and 10% off entering the promo code TMA. It is a gift you will never regret receiving or giving. Either your story or your parents' story or your grandmother, grandfather's story. Take your pick. Come into the studio, or you can do it via Zoom. It's mysoundstory.com. A perfect holiday gift. Enter promo code TMA to get 10% off, and you can choose from that entire roster at mysoundstory.com. Just for clarification, did Harrison's brother Master by learn a stuffed animal? Thanks. That's from Steve, and he's in Wilder. He's active right now.
Well, again, you just really don't understand any of the stories, so say what you want.
That one kind of got you, didn't it?
No, I'm just tired. I'm tired of answering the same
question. The wind out of your
so.
sails.
That was the one. That was the gut punch.
One day I want to hold a panda bear. Yeah, I was talking about her. That's what she said. And I thought it'd be cute just to, hey, get her one. Until you get to meet the real one, here you go. That was a funny thing. Nothing to do with
creepy. A lot of these texts you can take and get through them, turn the other cheek. Every now and then there's one that just completely deflates you.
Yeah, just completely makes me put my head down and say, God, I don't get it anymore. It's really sad.
Here, Doug, could you tell the people about Bertarelli Cutlery? That's what I've got. Marco Bertarelli.
Good place to do your holiday shopping.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's something different and something that your mother, father, wife, husband might really enjoy. The holiday season is here now. We all know that getting a gift for that special someone isn't always easy. If you or anyone you know is looking for that gift that's a cut above the rest, let me suggest you go out and find the fine folks at Bertarelli Cutlery. It's a locally owned family business. Been an institution on the Hill since 1974, so support locals, swing on down to the Hill, and go see our friends at Bertarelli Cutlery. They have an awesome showroom there with a variety of kitchen tools and gadgets, mixers, and, of course, some world-class knives like the Wusthof knives. Also, they'll sharpen your knives at Bertarelli Cutlery just in time for Thanksgiving. Slice your turkey up like a pro with your freshly sharpened tools, courtesy of Bertarelli. Don't settle for a gift card or that same lame sweater this holiday season. Instead, you should cut to the chase and choose Bertarelli Chop Cheeky. It's located at 1927 Marconi Avenue on the Hill, and you can call them. I'll give the phone number now. 314-664-4005, or visit them online at BertarelliCo.com.
There it is. Engineer Design Facilities sponsor the text inbox, which many people are actively texting into right now as we speak. 314-881-TMA5. Engineered Design Facilities, heretofore known as EDF, the official commercial fire alarm services and solutions provider of TMA. EDF's fire division is now testing, inspecting, and maintaining the fire system on all commercial kitchen and restaurant hoods. EDF can handle all of your company's security and surveillance needs, from surveillance cameras to access card readers to facial recognition software and everything in between. If you have visibility to your company or place of business's commercial fire alarm panel and system, please email fire@edf-rg.com, and they'll have a technician come out and provide a free evaluation of your system and offer the most competitive contract pricing in the market. You can also check them out anytime at edf-rg.com. It's engineered, designed facilities. Send your emails in the morning after at InsideSTL.com for our Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day. Your nominees for our year-end awards, which will take place on December 8th. At Harpo's, presented by Mungenast, St. Louis Acura, and Engineered Design Facilities, with Lisa Ann returning. And you can bring a new unwrapped toy as we bring in toys for Annie's Hope, the charity that Jay Randolph Jr. and his family have chosen to be the beneficiaries of JRandolphJr.com. It all takes place on Thursday, December 8th. At Harpo's. And we're off the next day, so we all plan to get effed up on the Hennessy. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I'm looking forward to sleeping with a few people that night. But I'm going to use my hand on 28 behind a dumpster. So hopefully that makes people want to come out.
28 of them?
Mm-hmm.
Think we can get that dumpster sponsored?
Like to think so.
Huh,
Just John's.
Just cold calls from businesses.
Hey, one of our hosts on HD2 is planning on using his hand on listeners in Chesterfield in a couple weeks. Are you interested in sponsoring the dumpster?
Got to be a glove sponsor, so Tom Traven maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe Carroll House, put a couple recliners.
Yeah, Brett Gubman.
You like nice things.
Yeah, when he goes out of town, they slash sales.
Nate's in Dallas to find some new inventory. And when Nate goes away, we slash prices.
I see where... what's that store that sells furniture only on weekends?
Weekends only. Going out of business.
Going out of business.
Really?
All of them are shutting down, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Phillips, good dude.
Mm-hmm. I know some of the Phillips. They are great people.
Yeah. Michael Phillips, who I know.
Sorry to see that. I've been to that one in South County many times.
I think it's just a matter he wants to retire. It's not like losing your lease. Like, hey, we lost our lease. Everything must go. I think he's just retiring. I've had enough and great
And the
business.
CEO had left a few months ago to go somewhere else. And so I guess the void there.
And don't have a sucking up for a couch or anything. Don't. I'm sure that'll be the text. Yeah, what are you getting out of this?
Is that what
mention?
you want from this little mention?
No, I don't need any furniture. I'm done.
Don't
I'm
mention Paola on air.
good. No, it's
You are.
It's a story. It's in the paper.
Yeah.
I'll take a couch.
I don't read the paper, but it was somewhere online.
There you go. See? Doug, on the other side of the commercial break, fun with audio.
What do we got?
Well, Mike Francesa with a World War II story. And then Blues taking on the Blackhawks tonight. Scott Darling was on the Cup-winning team 7 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And he went after our Fair City, and then a friend of the show went after Scott Darling. We'll have that for you in the Appliance Discounters 8 o'clock hour. That's coming up next. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
The Tim McKernan Show podcast, featuring long-form interviews with people from the world of sports, politics, and entertainment.
And our guest today, Bill McClellan. Thanks so much for coming in.
Hey, my pleasure, Tim.
What's up, Caden?
Hi, how are you?
Joe Buck, our guest today.
And it's like I haven't seen you in years.
More than 500 episodes and counting, and it's available wherever you get your podcasts, including the TMA STL app. Get the app now at TMASTL.com.
Guess what? TMA is giving out end-of-the-year awards to TMA fans.
It's happening December 8th at Harpo's in Chesterfield.
And we'd like all of you to be there.
You think we're going to have an award for the most misshapen head?
Cool, man. Not cool. But maybe we'll do most translucent skin, though.
How about the most perverted show member with bleached blonde hair?
Talking about me?
Yeah.
Well, off.
You ashen sweet potato.
This award ceremony is more about the listeners. Best texter, best caller, best emailer, or maybe we'll point out the worst caller, and who should be Listener of the Year. It's the TMA End of the Year Awards, Thursday, December 8th at Harpo's in Chesterfield. By the way, former adult film actress Lisa Ann will be joining the event. Presented by Munganast St. Louis Acura and Munganast Alton Toyota. Better than ever for you, their customer. Who should win? Who will win? Who cares? Please bring a new and unwrapped toy for Annie's Hope on behalf of our good friend Jay Randolph Jr. And you get in for free.
My head's not there.
I've never been
blonde hair
talked to
costs
like
$100,
this. I'm
buddy.
getting tanner. My hair's
Find out more at TMASTL.com. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Your favorite spirits like Hendrick's Gin and Monkey Shoulder Vatted Walt Whiskey are now available in premium, ready-to-serve cocktails thanks to Batch and Bottle. Try the Lazy Old Fashioned, Rhubarb Cosmo, Gin Martini, or Scotch Manhattan. Simply chill, pour, and garnish. Each bottle serves 4 to 5 cocktails, so grab a few for your next party and spend less time in the kitchen and more time in the conversation. Just look for the black bottle with the gold cap. That's Batch and Bottle Premium Ready-to-Serve Cocktails. Batch and Bottle Premium Pre-Batch Cocktails, imported by William Grant & Sons, Inc., New York, New York.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Stroh. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepperoncini.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini. We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at TMASTL.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and right now, this is a unique time, and I'm here with Ryan Kelly. And Ryan, what can you tell our listeners about this moment in American history?
Well, it's the perfect time to buy a house.
Yeah.
When you think about that, knowing that you can get a house significantly less today than a year ago, I mean, that's a win-win, right? And mortgage rates are definitely a little higher than they were a year ago. But at thehomeloanexpert.com, we have a saying, you marry the house, you date the rate. Got questions? Ready to get pre-approved? Let's talk. It all starts today at thehomeloanexpert.com.
This is Joe Buck for Sound Story, a perfect gift anytime, but especially for the holidays. Sound Story is an interview where you can choose your favorite on-air personality to talk with your mom, your dad, your grandparents, or even you, and make sure that the stories your family has are saved forever. Don't take my word for it. Listen to the people who have experienced Sound Story.
Hi, my name is Wayne Turley. My dad served in Vietnam. When I listened to a sound story, it was powerful to hear his stories, many of which I had never heard before. It was also clear that talking with a professional interviewer made him comfortable to tell these stories, as opposed to if he were talking with a family member. I think the thing that means the most to my family is that we now will always be able to hear his stories and his wisdom in his own words. Sound Story is one of the best gifts I have ever given, not just for my dad, but for my children as well.
This is the time of year when people wonder what to get their family for the perfect gift. The answer is Sound Story. For more information on how to schedule a Sound Story or to get a gift certificate, just go to mysoundstory.com.
The best authentic Southwestern cuisine awaits you at Santa Fe Bistro in Creve Coeur. Open for lunch and dinner with happy hour Monday through Friday, 3:30 to 6, and Saturdays, 2:30 to 4. Daily drink and entree specials and 72 tequilas, as well as a vast selection of beer on draft and by the bottle. Wear a jersey or team gear for Blues and NFL games and get a free drink with the purchase of an entree. Nothing says authentic Southwestern cuisine quite like Santa Fe Bistro. West of 270 on Olive. Same plaza as the old TGI Fridays location. Full menu at SantaFeBistroMO.com.
Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's Sports Talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app.
Well, let's put our golf where our mouths are.
Now,
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPNT FM HD2.
Well, it's a Ween Wednesday for the ages, and it's perfect that Ryan Kelly is on the line because, Doug, he can talk it over with us. Good morning, Ryan. Hello again, everybody.
Hello, Ryan.
Hey, happy Wednesday to y'all.
Happy Wednesday to you and yours.
Back at you.
Let's talk it over. What do you want to talk about?
All right.
What's the topic?
Well, we were talking about hot wifing, but I guess hot mortgages would be more up your alley.
Nice, Doug.
Did you say hot wifing?
Wifing,
Put that
yes.
off.
Hot wifing.
Snag that audio.
Yeah. My wife's in an earshot away. I better be careful.
Yeah. That's why I threw out the suggestion we talk mortgages.
Everybody knows I'm the hottest wife in town, and she's the greatest mom and the greatest at everything she does, and I wouldn't be anything without her.
How about that,
that's
Doug?
true.
How
There
about
you
that?
go. All right, you're good for for today.
And I'm good for the day. Check the box. Probably get some pot roast or something in a crock pot.
delicious
that'd
pot
be
roast.
nice. I like a pot roast. Sure.
Oh, man, pot roast is one of my favorites, you know.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Well, I'm younger than a lot of folks, and I'm also a lot older than a lot of folks. I know that, you know. So, but when I grew up, like crock pots were the thing. Like
crock pea.
Crock pea.
you just go in the morning, throw yourself in a can of beef broth, some water, big piece of meat, some potatoes, some carrots, some celery. Put the lid on that baby. Put it on low. Go work for 8-10 hours. Come on home. It was like hallelujah. In the door and boom, pot roast.
Yeah.
We also didn't have microwaves.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have microwaves when I grew up. I remember getting our first microwave. I was probably in second grade, something around there. It was like, holy cow. And I think the only thing we could really make was popcorn at the time. Was the microwave popcorn. But then Stouffer's came out and killed the game with those Mexican enchilada frozen dinners and lasagnas and all that. Man, life sure is good. You know what else is good?
What?
Super low mortgage rates. Yes. Super low mortgage rates.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
that cannot keep up. Yeah, mortgage rates dropped.
Really? So what do we got going on?
Well, we had better than expected news on inflation last week, and that triggered them to drop quite a bit. In fact, most loans, they dropped anywhere between 1/4 to 1/2 point, and that's big news, man. It really is. So if you've been sitting on the fence, lock in, brother. Lock in now. Call us up. Let's look at options. Buy a house. Great time, right? Think about what it looked like a year ago to try to buy a house. It was almost impossible unless you had like billionaire money. You just come to the table and just throw it on the table. I'm like, I'm buying this and nobody else is. You know, but like now we're seeing lower asking prices, lower list price, We're seeing them drop prices. We're seeing sellers make concessions like, hey, I'll pay for your closing costs if you buy my house, or I will buy your interest rate down for you so you have a new super low rate, or whatever it is. Like, we're seeing lower prices, seller concessions. So now's the time to go scoop up that house. And we have a new program called the VIP program at the Home Loan Expert, where we will do a refinance when rates drop with no fees. So go in there and get the house today, save a lot of money on that, and then we'll refinance with no fees. The rates up, can't win, can't lose, it's all perfect. Visit thehomeloanexpert.com.
There he is, Ryan Kelly, online at thehomeloanexpert.com, and he's got a pot roast coming his way.
Crock pea.
Yeah, crock pea season. Thank you, Ryan. There he is, the Ryan Kelly online at thehomeloanexpert.com, where you should probably spend some time thinking about it. We're in the Michelob Ultra Studios. Let's take a look at this sign behind me, Doug. 95 calories.
That's not many.
2.6 grams of
Very
carbs.
few.
You know, at this point, it's just let's sit around for the next 5 or 6 months to get through it and just have Michelob Ultras. That's essentially what the plan is. It's Michelob Ultra studio sponsor, and then we get to the Michelob Ultra Fan Page Club Championship. Then you can start getting out and really trying to prove your mettle.
Yeah.
That's the time. Michelob Ultra studio sponsor here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After. And enjoy the fun and games. Coming up on Balloon Party, 101 ESPN, Darren Pang will join me at 10:15. Panger at 10:15. And I believe Stephen Wildwood left a mic drop. He said I think he said he lost his breath or saw stars or something like that. He was so passionate in his mic drop.
About what?
I don't know. But he gets worked up when he leaves those mic drops. And I
Does
forgot
he?
to play it yesterday, Jackson. That's on me. I forgot to play it.
I like the story where his wife came back home once and caught him in the middle of a mic drop. She walks into their apartment. He's just screaming into his phone. She's wondering, what in the world has happened?
What was going on? I felt like the earth shaking in the hallway. Were you around? Did you feel that? Anybody feel that?
I didn't, no.
Yeah, it was like right in the hallway.
We have an earthquake?
I don't know. It felt like it was just like somebody jumping up and down in the hallway.
I didn't feel anything.
All right, fair enough.
No, it was...
You would think the building is built solidly enough that if someone were to just jump up and
Yeah,
down,
you
it wouldn't
feel
rattle the
Right,
whole
that's
building.
why it stood out to me.
They're done with the roof, so
yeah,
wouldn't be them.
Who'd you see out in the hallway?
I was talking to... Who was I talking to? Casey was in there, and Moon was in there.
A little chit-chat.
King Scott came back, and Joey's here editing.
They have a crock pot in that employee
Yeah, I
lounge.
wonder about that.
We've been talking about crock pea.
Have a toaster.
Make a Pop-Tart?
Not the same.
Lauren was making toast yesterday.
Yeah, you use a crock pot a lot in your cooking?
Not Lauren, I'm sorry. Courtney.
Wow. Always on.
Yeah, I love my crock pot.
Do you?
You were always on my mind. Doug, was that Willie Nelson
Yeah,
originally?
you were always
Or was that
on
Elvis
my mind.
Presley?
Well, Elvis first, but I think Willie redid it.
Whose was more popular?
Probably Elvis.
Willie.
Okay, perfect.
Probably everything Elvis did was more popular than almost everything Willie Nelson did. Almost. No, although I take that back. Sometimes you hear an Elvis Presley song every now and then, you go, "Oh, that's horrible." I don't ever remember hearing that. That's no good.
Yeah. You know, he never, except for one Christian song, he never won a Grammy.
I wonder why that was.
I don't know.
We'll look into that more
Fun
in the
facts.
9 o'clock
Okay.
hour. But now, Doug, here is Mike Francesa telling a story about World War II.
Oh, okay.
And then, unfortunately, the story then takes a turn. Take a listen. if you
Okay, I'd like to hit the
You
link
want a
post.
story off the beaten path?
Yeah.
It's about Lee Marvin. Remember Lee Marvin, the great
Sure,
actor?
absolutely.
He was awarded the Navy Cross for being wounded at Iwo Jima. He was in the first wave at Iwo Jima. He's on Johnny Carson one night, and Johnny Carson says to him, "You know, you think this audience realizes that you're a war hero?" And he goes, "I'm not a war hero." He goes, "There are a lot of braver guys than me." He goes, "I'm going to tell you about one. I got shot in the rear end." He said, there was a guy standing there on the beach wanting to draw the fire to himself to protect his own men. He said, that guy is a hero. That guy's the bravest man I ever saw. When I came down on a stretcher, he gave me a cigarette, lit a cigarette, and put it in me and said, "Lee, you're going to be fine." He said, "Thanks, Bob." He says, "I'll see you back in the States." He said, "Okay." He says, that man, maybe you know him, Captain Kangaroo. He said, "You might know him as Captain Kangaroo." Bob Keeshan. Now, is that unbelievable? Now, this other man was a Navy SEAL, fought in Vietnam, was so renowned as a hand-to-hand combat guy, basically a lethal killer. They say he had 25 kills on his resume. He had tattoos up and down his arms, so he always wore, he went into show business, he always wore a shirt and he always wore a sweater because he wanted to cover up all the tattoos that he had on his arms from his days as a decorated Navy SEAL and a warrior. He was a warrior. He was a lethal killer. You know who he was?
No.
Mr. Rogers.
Oh, my God.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
That's unbelievable.
Would you believe that? I read this today. I said, I got to mention this. This is the most remarkable thing. Lee Marvin, buried in Arlington, bravest man he ever met, who was Captain Kangaroo, who was decorated, and the guy who was a Navy SEAL, one of the great hand-to-hand fighters in the military, was Mr. Rogers.
We have to do a little addendum now to the Mike story that Mike gave us a half hour ago. What do you have?
Doug, it's unbelievable.
Never believe what you read, huh?
It's unbelievable.
None of this is true now?
Captain Kangaroo, what's not true, they say, is that Marvin and Captain Kangaroo fought together. According to this Urban Legend website that someone had, they actually have these same stories on the website, and they say that none of them are true.
Bob Keeshan as Captain Kangaroo did not take fire, and Mr. Rogers was not known for hand-to-hand combat with 25 kills.
No.
25 kills for Mr. Rogers.
A lot of those old TV stars were very much in the action, though.
Bob Keeshan,
guys you wouldn't expect. No,
but he said he saw that on Lee Marvin. Or you saw that on Johnny Carson, and Lee Marvin told the story.
No.
So you couldn't have seen that.
Guys like Eddie Albert were right in the middle of Ernest Borgnine, Don Knotts, Don Adams.
Ted Williams lost like 5 years of his career.
Yeah, right in the middle of his career. He fought in 2 wars, World War II and Korea.
Can you see that? Hey, neighbor. Got another one, neighbor.
No.
It was hand-to-hand.
He is such a
Dude
dolt.
was like choking out dudes.
I mean, such a dolt.
He's just repeating something he read.
I love that.
Not to be completely wrong.
WFAN.
But he
Okay,
does it
Mike,
so
we have
often.
to retract this statement.
Check this out, doggy. Doug, I like that. Check this out, doggy.
Doggy. Doug.
And also more fun with audio here, as Scott Darling was on the Chicago Blackhawks postgame show, getting Blackhawks fans ready for tonight's Blues and Blackhawks showdown. And this is what he had to say regarding the St. Louis market and his no-trade clause that he apparently had as a backup goaltender.
All right.
You heard it here first. It's the worst city in the country, worst place to play. It's the first team on my no-trade clause agreement that I didn't want to go to.
Well, that's not a ringing endorsement.
Kelly Chase, a friend of the program, responded to said soundbite that was making its way around the Twitter tweets yesterday. Hey, buddy. And anytime Chaser starts it with, hey, buddy, you know that might be a
Bad
problem.
sign, yeah.
I'm not sure what I'm more surprised at, your comment or the fact that somebody gave you a no-trade list. You didn't need to put us on it. We've got a good enough scouting staff here that there was no chance of you being here anyway.
Oh.
That is from Kelly Chase.
Well, I can see where St. Louis is not one of the glamour locations to play, especially if you're not from here. But I wouldn't put it at the bottom of the list. I mean, you play here in a really nice building. You play in front of mostly packed crowds. You live a nice life here. I would put Buffalo behind St. Louis.
I'd put Winnipeg.
Detroit, Winnipeg, yeah. And that might be about it.
Yeah, that's okay.
There's got to be some others.
Carolina?
Edmonton might not necessarily be.
No,
lovely.
yeah, I wouldn't want to play in Edmonton. Although if you're a Canadian farm boy, you probably wouldn't think anything of it.
Carolina's up there.
Oh, Carolina's nice.
They play in Charlotte or Raleigh or where do they?
I think they're in
Hurricanes
Raleigh.
play?
They're in Raleigh.
Yeah, those are pretty nice towns.
Yeah.
But as a hockey town, there's all kinds of guys who've come here and played their careers and stayed here forever.
Scott Darling is trash, anyways.
Yeah, look, if you're a hockey player, you're making money. So you don't have to stay downtown. You stay in Chesterfield or somewhere out there.
No, you can see how people would rather be in New York or L.A. or Anaheim, Dallas, Tampa, yeah, Miami. You can understand that. But I still don't think we're at the bottom of the list.
No, not for an athlete.
Is there any way to prove that he had a no-trade clause?
Probably not.
Because there's no way.
I don't remember him at all with the Blues. Did he ever play?
He wasn't with the Blues. With the
Well,
Blackhawks.
I thought he played briefly here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Play with the Blackhawks.
Oh.
Won the Chalice.
So he was just rubbing it in on the arch rivals.
He is He is a stand-up comedian, for the record.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
I
gosh,
think that's
even
all he was
worse.
I mean, if somebody on the Blues stood up and said something horrible about Chicago because it was the Blackhawks, we'd just kind of laugh it off, wouldn't we?
Scott Darling, comedian. That is a joke.
Well, have you seen his routine?
I saw that bit. He sucks.
Boy, it really hurt you. It kind of found a nerve with you, didn't it?
I love St. Louis. I hate when people talk bash the city.
Do?
Especially this douchebag.
Oh, God, get over it. This is like an Iggy text where you're crestfallen when you hear it.
The Loomster, who just might be the listener of the year, says Carolina gave him a partial no-trade clause.
Okay.
What is it about Chicago people? Chris Bryant didn't want to live here either. Or said this is a boring city or a worse city, a terrible city.
Boring. Boring was the word he used.
Yeah. Well, he's got something there.
Hey, I'm not interested in living in Chicago. It's too big. The weather's too cold. Traffic is too much.
It's a great place in the summer.
It's a great weekend getaway place.
But I wouldn't want to live there.
No, I wouldn't either.
Jackson, I bet you have a lot of your peers who live in Chi-Town, whether it be from Horton Watkins or the University of Missouri.
Didn't you just get
Jackson!
Doug!
What's up?
Cutting it up. Didn't you just get back from Chicago?
Jackson!
Doug.
Jackson's gone.
There's
probably cutting up audio.
He's missing.
Well, there were two of us waiting for the bathroom, so he's probably in there.
Oh, no. Was there a situation?
No, but there was just people needed to go.
Well, go down to the main one over here.
I was making coffee
several
anyway. I had
different
time to wait.
places.
But Jackson probably had to wait for us, so he's probably in there now.
Oh, no.
I think he went to Chicago. Didn't he go to Chicago about a week ago?
Who are you talking
Jackson? You asked him if you got, I'm sure you got friends in Chicago or buddies in Chicago.
He went to Columbia.
No, I think he went to Chicago, too, for a weekend.
This guy goes on the road and bangs them two at a time is what he does.
I guess
and then
he
leaves.
does.
And he leaves in the middle of the show.
Yeah.
No, because I remember I said I got a Hito friend that owns a chocolate shop there. If you want me to give her a call.
Chocolate.
Very attractive. Yeah, she owns a chocolaterie. What is it called?
Charcuterie?
Candy store?
She owns a place that sells chocolates.
Little Tommy Trippin says, who does Darling think he is, ignoring the Cahokia Mounds, Balkan Treat Box, and Tilly's Park Winter Wonderland? Thanks. It's little Tommy Trippin.
Shocking. If you're a hockey player, where would you most want to play?
I think Matthew Kachuk figured it out.
Yeah, Hollywood, Florida.
You can be
probably,
completely anonymous, super rich, and live in South Florida.
Yeah.
And my understanding is he lives close to where they practice, and just drives a little golf cart up to the rink and then shoots home, and nobody bothers him.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
It is perfect.
It'd be hard
He
to
goes
beat.
from Calgary, where everybody in town knew him, to South Florida, where he can play for a great team and have complete anonymity and $75 million. To me, that's the win.
That's probably it.
Yeah, if
In
I was
Tampa,
a
you could
superstar,
probably do the same thing in Tampa. I guess.
if I was a superstar, probably the Kings.
Kingy.
See, I like San Jose.
Really? It's a surprise play. What do you like? Have you been there?
No, but I think I would like the vibe more. I think L.A. would terrify me. I don't think I'd fit in there at all.
Yeah.
It's just not a place that I would. I don't know if California is my style anyway, but if I had to pick Anaheim, San Jose, I think I'd feel more comfortable living there.
Anaheim is in Orange County, and that's there's some of the nicest real estate in the world in Orange County.
Yeah.
That'd be hard to beat.
The difference between the two coasts, I've been to New York more than I've been to L.A., but in New York, I mean, you go shopping, and it's just thousands of people in the street every day, and nobody drives there. You either take the subway, they walk. In California, nobody walks. I mean, people drive everywhere.
Right.
So you hardly see anybody walking the streets. There's always.
They say in New York you're shoulder to shoulder, and in L.A. you're bumper to bumper.
Yeah.
I don't understand why St. Louis is so bad at public transportation, though, either.
They don't need it, for the most part.
Well, you can't use it. That's why people tend to drive. I think it's the chicken or egg thing. If you had a system to where you could not drive, 30, 40-minute commute, whatever it is, people would choose that. But the stops and work, it's just not conducive for anybody outside of people who can't afford a vehicle. No offense. Use it, and you go to other major cities, it's amazing how functioning it is.
Well, other major cities are much larger than St. Louis. And the bulk of the population lives within a 15 or 20-minute drive of downtown. And furthermore, now most people don't have to go downtown to work.
I'm not talking downtown, I'm just talking in general, I mean, D.C. has a lot of, it's not just going to the White House and coming back. I mean, there's other districts and areas around that.
It's also
similar to St. Louis.
far larger than St. Louis.
Well, I'm not saying it's not larger. I understand that. I'm saying our public transportation system is absolutely miserable here.
No.
I'm not saying make it bigger, just make it more efficient, make it safer, make it easier, have more stops. I don't get why it's... I mean, the transit system here is awful. I'd love not to drive every single day.
I guess the people that matter have determined it's not worth the overwhelming price tag of building that to try to convince people not to drive 15 or 20 minutes.
Well, the $50 million trolley really hurt any future public transportation that St. Louis is ever going to see.
But boy, is it handsome.
Oh, it's the worst idea.
$50 million? They didn't spend $50
$35 million. At least $35 million.
I don't really consider transportation, though.
It's a gimmick that is just a laughingstock of the entire area.
I thought that was like 10 or 11 million.
No, it started out that way, and then it broke down 8 times, and then they hit about 4 vehicles. So, like the insurance claims, it adds up quick.
It just goes back and forth from the Loop to Forest Park, though, right? That's basically all it is.
Absolutely needed. You gotta have it. You cannot possibly drive 8 minutes.
You can't walk 3 blocks.
If ever there was a time,
that to me was the biggest miss I've ever seen this city have, outside of whatever they're doing with the ramp money.
I thought the miss was when they shut down Highway 40 westbound. That's when they should have built, right down the middle of it, a Metrolink rail, right down the middle of Highway 40 to take you from Chesterfield to downtown if you want to go. Because Highway 40, 64, backs up almost every night badly during rush hour traffic. That would have been the time when you could have built something where a lot of people might actually start to use Metrolink.
I bet that would have never passed a vote.
No.
Well, probably wouldn't have. But if you're looking for public transportation, that would have been the time to do it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Getting from county to city is my main... That's what I'm not talking about having a rail from Tower Grove to Soulard. I understand, like, that sort of distance is very much so drivable.
Well, they do have buses.
Yeah.
Well,
you seen the
don't
bus
poo-poo
schedule?
it. I mean, yeah.
I mean, have you seen the bus schedule, though? Like, it's...
No.
Again, it's not... They're just not enough.
But I just don't think the infrastructure in St. Louis could handle rerouting a bunch of things and putting more routes, like a subway system.
Oh, it'll be super expensive, and...
We're just not trying to move. We're not trying to move hundreds of thousands of people from the county to the city every day, like most big cities do. We don't. We're not that big, and much of the population has moved way out of the city area.
Got to keep those historic landmarks.
Well, yeah, it'd be nice to keep that. It'd be nice to keep anything of the city that's dwindling fast right before our eyes.
I think someone's taking over the Millennium Hotel, if I'm not mistaken. I heard that could be
Are
in
they
the
really?
works. I heard that could be in the works.
Well, that'd be nice.
I don't know if they're going to keep it a hotel by the land. I mean, I don't know what it is.
Did you see Kansas City's going to build a $2 billion baseball stadium downtown?
Oh, it's downtown.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was downtown.
Yeah.
The
Where-
renderings-
They're leaving Kauffman Stadium and going downtown.
Yeah, Tim, they came out with the renderings.
Well, I saw the renderings, but I didn't realize it was downtown.
And it looked like they're going to try to rebuild the stadium with a very similar look to what they have now,
Yeah.
which is great because that stadium still looks great.
It's aesthetically beautiful.
50 years old or so.
Arrowhead didn't go anywhere, right?
No, I'm sure they'll have more
Yeah,
parking,
there'll
more
be
tailgating.
parking
Yeah,
for
they'll probably
Arrowhead.
level the
Wow.
baseball. Yeah.
Yeah, it was with the boys on the Riz show yesterday in the 6 o'clock hour, and they had just done a show trip over there, and they were talking about the tailgating scene. We never had, in your opinion, Doug, what Arrowhead has, and so much of that was, and I'm talking about when the Rams were here from 95 through 15, because of the setup is so dissimilar, and that you have that huge lot around Arrowhead, and plenty of other stadiums. I mean, I know Candlestick Park wasn't known as like a pony for tailgating, but even Candlestick Park in San Francisco had a huge lot around it. And if you think about places that are known for great tailgating, whether it be colleges or a place like Kansas City, usually it has a monster lot around it that allows it. In St. Louis, it was just a bunch of smaller parking lots, and it was chopped up, and so you just didn't have a great tailgating scene.
Right.
Relative to an Arrowhead Stadium lot.
Yeah, or like Green Bay or places like that. We used to do a...
but what Riz was saying is it's tough to have a great tailgating scene if you think about a stadium that is in a downtown. And I couldn't think of one. You know, he's a New York guy, and he was familiar growing up with Giants Stadium. That's over in Jersey. and had huge lots.
The only possibility here is if had they built one like where the old Chrysler plant was, or out in Maryland Heights.
That's where it was going to be
Yeah.
when McNary had that
You could do
agreement
it
with
there.
Goodwill.
But the people, I think they had the right intentions. They're trying to save the city, trying to save it, trying to get people to go down there, trying to support restaurants, hotels. And that was one way to do it. And they needed some of the city money also.
Yeah, if you go to some of the other ballparks, though, like Kansas City, for instance, and I've been to 2 games there, and it is just a party. And it's a lively atmosphere, and everybody's getting ready for the game. When I was at 1380 ESPN, and Balzer and Malcolm did a pregame show, and we did it from, and you or Doug may know this, but there's a hotel downtown that the Rams would stay at
Westgate?
Saturday night.
Yeah, they stayed there with the Rams.
Wasn't it? Do you remember the name of that thing? It was like
a place called the Hotel Phillips, and I don't know if that's where. But then the place that I stayed with, I'm not mistaken, was the Westin, and at the time it was one of the only nice ones down there. Now this is 20 plus years ago. I want to make that clear.
Yeah, it's almost like it was actually a restaurant downstairs too. It's kind of like the San Filippo or something like that.
Okay.
And they stayed in the hotel next to that, so we do our show right there. And
That's a Drury, isn't it?
It might have been the Drury actually.
Yeah, that's
the
what-
Drury
that's
just on the other side of 7.
Right next door to the Dome.
Yeah, that's where they stayed on Friday or Saturday night.
Oh, you're talking about the Rams.
The Rams.
Oh, I thought you were talking about when the Rams went to Kansas City.
Oh, no. Here. Yeah, the Rams, even at home, every Saturday night, they stayed in this hotel and then went to the game Sunday. But it would be amazing that you would see there's like a parking lot across the street. And there's like 5 cars there with lawn chairs. And they'd be barbecuing. And that's tailgating. 5 people in a little lot.
Yeah.
And then, maybe a block down, there's another 5 people sitting by their car. I mean, you need to have a place where everybody, not just little pockets of people. It's kind of embarrassing, actually.
Yeah. Well, the Chiefs benefit from having a very good team, and that's their big franchise. Here it's the Cardinals. Kansas City's a football town. The baseball team has not been good historically, and so everyone's got behind the football team, and so that's become a thing. That's their thing, is Chiefs football. And they've got the perfect setup to pull that off. Nice story, Doug. Okay.
Well, no better tailgate scene than Green Bay. I know Buffalo has a really good one, but they just get absolutely tanked, wasted.
Yeah.
But Green Bay is again, smaller community. Everybody rallies around that. That is their team.
For the whole state, yeah.
I'm with you. With the Cardinals are inherently, St. Louis's team. The Rams were, even at the height of it, secondary for the most part.
Right. And I guess the tailgate scene for the Cardinals is now Ballpark Village. So if you have a downtown football stadium, maybe you want to build a little village there to take care of what would otherwise be a tailgate scene, I suppose.
Doug, you're the only one who would know this because everybody else is too young.
I hate when questions
Well,
start
and me
like
too,
that.
because we're about the same age. But when I was going to Big Red games, I think I was like, 7. But I could have swore we went to a game one Sunday and we were in a big lot having a tailgate with my dad and friends. Was there anything downtown for the Big Red where people would go?
Yeah, there was a surface lot just south.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like where
the stadium is
where
now.
the Busch Stadium is now. Yeah, that was a big surface lot. That would have been the one.
Yeah, could be. I just remember that. And I remember as a kid you didn't get cold. Now as an adult, if they had outdoor stadium, who's going to a game in December?
Yeah. It didn't seem like tailgating was that big a thing back then.
No, I just remember there was a bunch of my dad's friends. I just remember a big crowd where I just thought I remembered that.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I had for dinner last night, so.
You see that tailgate a few weeks ago? Somebody left their grill on and like 8 cars caught on fire during the game.
Where was that?
I forgot where it was, but if you Google it, it'd be pretty easy to find. It was an
sometimes
NFL stadium, if I'm not mistaken.
Sometimes people put their little grills in the trunk of their car or something.
Right after
start a
cooking
fire, right by the gas tank. It's not a good idea.
It's 8:40 in St. Louis. You're welcome to text in 314-881-TMA5. Jackson, Doug, he had left the studio to go cut this audio. Jamie Rivers on the fast lane regarding Scott Darling's comments.
Love to hear it. All right, hit the lever,
Open
Plowsy.
it now and activate.
Scott Darling.
St. Louis punches in bunches.
Yeah, Scott Darling apparently played in the NHL. Had some nasty words about the city of St. Louis.
Not up in here,
Not up in
Jimmy.
here, right.
Not up in here.
I got a message on Twitter. Twitter, of course, a wonderful place sometimes. from Glory Pro Wrestling that wants to set up a fight between me and Scott Darling.
I think that'll end very well for you.
Glory what wrestling?
Yeah, Glory Pro. Brad.
I heard it differently.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I understand that.
Boy.
Yeah, very different. Very different.
I couldn't even.
This one,
I was trying to picture the
this one can
ring
get a
for the
ring.
first one.
Yeah. It'd probably have to. Yeah, never mind.
Unsanctioned.
Are you going to do it?
I would do it. Is Glory Pro Wrestling like the real deal, though?
Oh, nobody knows. Yeah. Ish. It doesn't matter. We'll stream it live.
We could just do like the WWE guys do when they go rogue and they just do something for real and hurt the other guy.
Well, yeah.
No, it's a bad idea.
No, it's fine, Jamie. It's a good idea.
I want me some glory hole.
Oh, nice.
Was that our drop we're playing?
Well, Marshy Marsh dropped that one.
Oh, I thought Plow just hit that.
Oh, was that Marsh dropping that?
Oh, yeah.
Or was that Plowhawk?
Marshy Marsh.
Oh,
Wow.
Marsh, yeah, that was good.
Marshy Marsh and the Playful Posse.
He doesn't play around.
Somebody's listened to our show.
Well, it's possible that drop has made its way to other shows.
But they were talking glory. One of the guys was talking glory holes.
Yeah.
That was Brad Thompson.
Was it? I didn't recognize his voice. Well, he hasn't been on in so long.
Well, you monitor the work schedules of the building.
Is he on vacation too, and that's got you upset?
No, he does.
Those are the emails,
No.
time cards, and schedules.
No, I love me some Brad Thompson. No, maybe that's those Cardinals games. He's always.
He and Jamie Rivers are both outstanding on Bally Sports. They are both extremely good.
It's Bailey's.
Thank you.
Bailey Sports.
And I don't get it, so.
You don't get what?
I don't get Bailey's.
Oh.
I mean,
well,
I
if
get
you did, you'd see that they're both outstanding.
I get the channel, but I don't get the content on the channel.
They're both great and really good guys.
Yeah.
Well, Brad Thompson is so nice.
Doug, making a delicious drink should be as easy as simple as pouring a glass of wine. And you know what? Now it is, thanks to Batch and Bottle's new ready-to-serve cocktails, all containing super premium spirits like the Hendricks Gin Martini, Glenfiddich Single Malt Manhattan, Reka Rhubarb Cosmo, and Monkey Shoulder Lazy Old Fashioned. Don't spend your next party in the kitchen shaking and stirring while your guests have a good time without you. Like a cock. Treat them and treat yourself to Batch and Bottle's premium ready-to-serve cocktails. That's Batch and Bottle, premium pre-batch cocktails, imported by William Grant & Sons, Inc., New York, New York. Jack, can you tell the people about the Wolf Pack?
I'd be more than happy to, Tim. You know, I want to talk to you today about Trish Wolf and the Wolf Pack.
Okay.
You've gotten to know Trish a little bit. She called in yesterday. The Wolf Pack not only knows how to have fun, but they are experts in the STL real estate market, and they check all the boxes. They got experience, a team of agents with over 20 years of real estate sales experience. They have expertise. Thousands of homes sold in the Mound City proper and the metro area.
Nice.
They got success.
No one calls it the Mound City
Vince
proper.
Scully.
Wolf Pack does.
Okay.
And they got success. They're an award-winning Zillow Premier team, Doug.
Really? Okay.
They can call it the Mound City. They got strategies, proven processes that take you from planning to close and beyond. And, of course, maximum return on investment. The Wolfpack looks at each individual situation and structures a commission plan tailored to maximize your ROI. Even if you're planning for 2023 or if your plans are a little up in the air, give Trish a text or a call today to begin an informal preliminary discussion. It's never too early. Reach out today for a no-pressure consultative meeting to discuss your goals. Have a real estate question? Text Trish at 314-807-WOLF. It couldn't be easier. Join the pack. They've got your back.
Wow, Jackson just employed the pause, and it really was effective, I thought. Cybersecurity is the most exciting career in technology and one of the most in demand. Centric can train you for a career in cybersecurity, and they can do it in just 4 months. Centric's hands-on program teaches you the actual job skills you need to get started. No history, no biology, just technology. That's how they do it in just 4 months, even if you have no IT experience. And you can do it online, you can do it in person, you can do it in the evenings, or you can do it during the day, whichever works best for you. If you're interested in a career in cybersecurity, call Patrick Nealon at Centric Training today, and he will walk you through Centric's cutting-edge program and show you everything Centric does to help get you started in your new IT career. Call 314-450-4714 or go to centric.com/STL. That's CENTRIQ.com/STL. Cybersecurity is a problem for every business in St. Louis. You can be part of the solution. That is Patrick Nealon and Centric Training. Send your emails in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. It comes your way in about an hour in our Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour. Maggie O'Brien's, it is now open downtown. Check it out. It was shut down for 4 months. And now Eddie McVeigh's place is all open and ready to go for a pony. Blues and Caps tomorrow. How do you do, Maggie O'Brien?
Oh, fine, yeah.
Blues back-to-back home games against the Ducks on Saturday and Monday. How do you do, Maggie O'Brien?
I'm fine.
Maggie O'Brien's a wonderful sponsor of the program. And Friday night is pizza night. It's Uncle Leo's. I don't know if I can wait until Friday. It's
hard. It's hard sometimes.
I know. Right now, let them know when you call Uncle Leo's that you're a TMA listener. You buy one pizza, you get 50% off the next one at Uncle Leo's. It's Friday night is pizza night with TMA Uncle Leo's. Buy one pizza, get 50% off when you let them know you are a TMA listener. It's Uncle Leo's now through Sunday. Friday night is pizza night. And
think about that.
That's correct, actually. Dear Abby, this is not Deidre. Yeah.
Okay.
She's still around, Abby?
Yeah, apparently. I'm reading to November 16th, 2022, 3 a.m., New York Post.
Must be 100.
Got to be a daughter or something. Ann Landers and Abby were twin sisters.
Yeah, and they're both like 100.
I've been with my boyfriend for 4 years. Over those years, he has acquired an addiction to porn. He refuses to admit he is addicted, insists that it's perfectly normal. I'm usually not one to judge, but it has reached the point that it's affecting our sex life. I can't remember the last time we had a moment to ourselves that didn't start with him spending all day watching porn. I never... Hold on a second. These pop-up ads, Doug, they are getting me, and they're getting me
I know, especially when you go to the dark web for our stories.
That's right. I tried getting involved with it myself, hoping we'd find a common interest we could bond over, but he doesn't seem to want me involved at all. I feel like I'm being cheated on, as silly as that sounds. I'm struggling with my body image because of this. I feel like I'm never going to be adequate enough for him to focus on our sex life. How do I compete with porn? That's from Shutout in Virginia. Abby has the answer.
Okay.
You don't. Tell your boyfriend that his reliance on porn is negatively affecting your self-esteem and you are no longer willing to be involved with him because of it. If he's in love with you and willing to work on the problem, there are resources available to him. 12-step programs come immediately to mind. If he isn't, however, accept that this has nothing to do with your level of attractiveness and move on. Wow, there it is.
Okay.
Wow, Abby's no Deidre.
What would Deidre say?
Give it another chance. Go to Tavistock. Or read my, what's it called, prize pack?
Support pack.
Read my support pack. Learn how to watch porn with your husband.
Play Hey Diddle Diddle with your skittle.
Learn. How would you want to learn how to do keep your eyes open?
Yeah. Well, I remember on, again, I'll turn this into me.
Yeah. Why not?
That's the brand.
On the sound story that Learn did with me.
Oh, your life story.
Yeah, I didn't ask for it. Steve did.
Stephen Wildwood wanted it.
Yeah, and somehow she asked about my sex life, and she had to start talking about porn. And she came to the conclusion, she goes, I think you never wanted to settle down, you don't care, is because you were addicted to porn.
Could well be.
She had a point. I'm not addicted to porn, but I can have real sex or porn. Take it or leave it. If I don't get one, I got the other.
I'm kind of proud of that, too, aren't you?
No, maybe the husband's like me. You just don't care anymore. It's like, I don't need to get laid. I got porn. Maybe that's what's happened to him. And if that's the case, it's over, honey.
Could that be a sign of maybe just kind of getting old and running out of steam and losing interest in the joys of life?
Not joys of life. Maybe sex. I've already said that I don't want to do any work anymore.
You will lay there, though.
Yeah, I've said the oral sex would be good. I'll
Like
get into
you're walking in and you're just laying naked, coffin style with a boner. And all right, just let me know when you're done.
No, I said the oral sex would be good. I'll still work on that, but...
You're not a very attentive lover.
Well, I have been for many, many years. It's time for me to just relax.
Guys, me and my wife watch porn together. It's a hell of a bonding experience. It is called Fishing in the Dark, and it's great. That's from caller Buzz.
Fishing in the
I had
dark?
never heard that term.
No, me neither.
I like just getting in and out.
I beg your pardon, sir.
Looking at 3 or 4 videos and I'm done. I can't really invest a lot of time in that department.
You don't edge, bro?
What does that mean,
no,
edge?
Man, I got other things. I'd rather smoke a bowl and
We're
get
edging,
under the
we're
covers.
fishing in the dark. What's it all mean?
Sexual terms, Doug.
I just need me a nice little amateur video and daddy's happy.
Oh.
That's pretty much
Yeah,
it.
sometimes you want to make an afternoon of it.
I'd rather do that with my meals.
Eat all afternoon?
Yeah. Rather eat than spank.
So, Iggy, when you say make an afternoon of it, are you saying, like, you'll do, like, a 30-minute sesh, stop, do another 30-minute sesh, and so on and so forth?
No, I'll just keep going from video to video.
And you won't let yourself...
Until I get to one that I know I'll use.
So you like on
quite
page,
a life.
So this is like page 30, page 35 of like the X-Hamster.
Yeah, if I type in a search, and there are more than 15, 20 pages. But sometimes because there's certain girls like this Jeannie Onyx that I really dig.
Doug, Jeannie Onyx.
Tim would have never heard of her because she...
I'm not familiar with her at all.
She didn't stay in it long.
She owned a bar?
No, but she didn't. The ones that I see of her I love. But I want to find more. And I can't. And I know she's done more because she did a lot of these Latinos in Miami, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever. She's done a lot of those type things.
Oh, sequels.
But you can't find these anywhere.
That's a shame.
But I know they're out there. So if I'll like type her into a search on like say X-Hamster, and I'll find a couple that I've already seen, but it'll say like 40 pages. I got to go 40 pages to maybe find a new one. And that's when it takes me a while because I will go through all the pages hoping to find another one. Then I'll find something I like, and I'll click on that. And then I'll go to another page. Next thing I know, I've been there an hour and I'm on page 26.
I always like sometimes to, do the community a favor in the porn industry and go to the very last page.
Oh, Dad.
Selfless
gesture.
Those videos haven't got a lot of clicks. Maybe at the lighting, maybe certainly at the acting. But you give them the views and the credit they deserve for the hard work. So I always
Why
like
do
to
they
start
deserve
from
credit?
the back end and move up. And there are some interesting videos that you won't get
All right.
highlighted in the first 5 or 6 pages. Those are where that's the honey.
How do they decide what gets on page 1 and what's on page 35?
I think it usually goes newest to oldest.
Have you ever thumbsed up a porn video? I see that there's like, this is like an 86% liked video. And I'm thinking to myself, like, did somebody, like, go out of their way and go, man, I didn't really get on. Nope, dislike. It's like, when I'm done, I'm done. I'm not really rating or reviewing.
Oh, is that right?
I do like the ones that
Iggy's
show
story
comments.
has really led to a beehive of activity in the engineer design facilities. Great. And I mean great story, Ken. That's
story?
from Mr. 6301. I don't know, but there's a bunch of these in here. That is so depressing. A 65-year-old Gump is discussing his jerk schedule. No, it's not creepy or weird at all. That's Harrison's brother, Master.
Well, I still get it up.
My God, this is the saddest crap I've ever heard. Hubbard needs to serve Strode a restraining order. That's from Little Tommy Tribbins. He's right out there.
Restraining order from who?
Jackson, we 100% do not need a breakdown of Strode's spank sessions. It's disgusting. That's from the old Appleton stepdad.
Yeah, I'm kind of with him.
And man, Ken is such a weirdo. That's from Tarvis Parish. So they came in like little bullets.
You just
like
now
that.
realize that?
Tarvis Parish.
Yeah, come on. I've talked about this many, many times over the years. Now today I'm a weirdo.
Excuse me. All right.
Jeremy Rutherford joins us coming up at 9 o'clock. He is presented by Mark Hann of Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Doug, the Blues are on a heater here. I mean, 3 in a row, and they could make it 4 in a row. And, Ovechkin comes to town, fine, 5 in a row. Ducks back-to-back, 7 in a row.
Mom's in the stands tonight?
The Mom's in the stands.
I believe they are.
Chi-Town stand
Yeah.
up. So there you go. Put your money on the note to improve the parents' traveling record with the Blues to 9-1-1. The dad's 7-1-1. The mom's undefeated at 1-0. Go to 2-0, 7-1-1 plus 2-0. Doug, that'd be 9-1-1 on parents' trips.
Pretty incredible turnaround the way they're playing. I mean, they looked horrendous in some of those losses. They weren't even close.
That's the thing. You're right.
Giving up 5, 6 goals a game. They weren't in games.
There were a couple that were close, but in that losing streak, if you go back and look at it, you go, yeah, they really...
Yeah, it was awful.
And they were giving up goals like in clusters, which is something JR wrote about. So he's going to be with us. Any questions, comments you have for Jeremy Rutherford? We do take 2-parters. Didn't ask for them, but we get them. And they can be sent in 314-881-TMA5. Stratum Structural Systems, waterproofing and foundation repair. Think local. Think Stratum. They're online at stratumrepair.com. 314-620-8155. 53. That is Stratum. And when you call, let them know you are a TMA listener, and you get $100 off your repair project. They're a Better Business Bureau accredited with an A-plus rating with 0 customer complaints. No other major foundation repair company in St. Louis can say that. They have 2 locations, Chesterfield, Missouri, and Columbia, Illinois, and they are recommended by more professional engineers, architects, contractors, and realtors than anyone in St. Louis. It's Stratum Structural Systems, waterproofing and foundation repair. Think local, think Stratum. It's Stratum Structural Systems. Matt Ford and Brett Groman, Stratum Structural Systems. Send your emails in for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. It comes your way at 9:45. Jackson and I will be joined by Darren Pang at 10:15. And here on TMA, we will be joined by Jeremy Rutherford, presented by Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Next, this is the Ryan Kelly Morning After, closing out the Appliance Discounters, 8 o'clock hour from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's sports talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan for Design Air Heating and Cooling. I am a very happy client. Design Air Heating and Cooling and Seth Goldcamp and his incredible staff, which you can find online at designairservice.com. Just go to the website, click on the Book Now tab, and any issues you may be having with your HVAC system, they will take care of immediately. The customer service, second to none. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling online at designairservice.com.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Stroh. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open.
Pepperoncini.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at TMASTL.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
Doug Vaughn here alongside Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert. Ryan, rates are high, but you're still finding a way to get people a good mortgage. How do you do it?
You know, we work really hard for our clients. We watch the markets. We watch the rates. They swing a quarter point a day some days right now. And that's why you need an expert to lock you in at the right time. And then we have these incredible programs like our Interest Rate Rewind, where for the first year, your rate will be 2 full points lower. The second year, a point lower. And then year 3, it goes to the current rate. Thinking about buying a house? Maybe a refinance? Got questions? Apply online today at thehomeloanexpert.com.
This is Joe Buck for Sound Story, a perfect gift anytime, but especially for the holidays. Sound Story is an interview where you can choose your favorite on-air personality to talk with your mom, your dad, your grandparents, or even you, and make sure that the stories your family has are saved forever. Don't take my word for it. Listen to the people who have experienced Sound Story.
Hi, I'm Pete DePrado. In 2020, my dad did a Sound Story interview with Tim McKernan. A couple of months later, he passed away unexpectedly. I'm so grateful to have an audio file that I can play whenever, to hear his voice, to listen to him tell jokes, to listen to him laugh, talk about his family. It's just the best. My mom called it the greatest gift she ever received.
This is the time of year when people wonder what to get their family for the perfect gift. The answer is Sound Story. For more information on how to schedule a Sound Story or to get a gift certificate, just go to mysoundstory.com. For the holiday season, enter promo code TMA to save 10% on your Sound Story.
The best authentic Southwestern cuisine awaits you at Santa Fe Bistro in Creve Coeur. Open for lunch and dinner with happy hour Monday through Friday, 3:30 to 6, and Saturdays, 2:30 to 4. Daily drink and entree specials and 72 tequilas, as well as a vast selection of beer on draft and by the bottle. Wear a jersey or team gear for Blues and NFL games and get a free drink with the purchase of an entree. Nothing says authentic Southwestern cuisine quite like Santa Fe Bistro, west of 270 on Olive. Same plaza as the old TGI Fridays location. Full menu at SantaFeBistroMO.com.
Guess what? TMA is giving out end-of-the-year awards to TMA fans.
It's happening December 8th at Harpo's in Chesterfield.
And we'd like all of you to be there.
You think we're going to have an award for the most misshapen head?
Cool, man. Cool. But maybe we'll do most translucent skin, though.
How about the most perverted show member with bleached blonde hair?
You talking about me?
Yeah.
Well, off.
You ashen sweet potato.
This award ceremony is more about the listeners. Best texter, best caller, best emailer, or maybe we'll point out the worst caller, and who should be Listener of the Year. It's the TMA End of the Year Awards, Thursday, December 8th at Harpo's in Chesterfield. By the way, former adult film actress Lisa Ann will be joining the event. Presented by Munganast St. Louis Acura and Munganast Alton Toyota. Better than ever for you, their customer. Who should win? Who will win? Who cares? Please bring a new and unwrapped toy for Annie's Hope on behalf of our good friend Jay Randolph Jr. And you get in for free.
My head's got that.
I've never been
My blonde hair costs $100.
Find out more at TMASTL.com. The Tim McKernan Show podcast, featuring long-form interviews with people from the world of sports, politics, and entertainment.
And our guest today, Bill McClellan. Thanks so much for coming in.
Hey, my pleasure, Tim.
What's up, Caden?
Hi, how are you?
Joe Buck, our guest today.
And it's like I haven't seen you in years.
More than 500 episodes and counting, and it's available wherever you get your podcasts, including the TMA STL app. Get the app now at TMASTL.com. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
I'm gay.
Now.
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPN-TFM HD2.
Collinsville, St. Louis.
So good.
That's the Weens.
Yeah, Gene Ween and Dean.
Brothers Ween.
Ween. Well, every Wednesday here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After, in our Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour from the Michelob Ultra Studios, it is our pleasure to welcome to the program and take your questions and comments. Presented by Mark Hanna of the Evergreen Wealth Strategies family. The great Jeremy Rutherford here on the Steve McKeon with Kenny Phone Lines. Good morning, JR. Yeah, galleries.
Clap.
Make it clap.
Hey, I wish you guys could have seen that scene a couple minutes ago.
What?
I'm in Chicago, and you know how you go to these hotels, the 20th floor, they have kind of like a concierge room.
Well, sure.
And I'm the only one sitting up there, and of course I got you guys playing on the YouTube stream. And
no.
All of a sudden, a lady comes in and Plow's talking about rating pornos, and I grab my phone and had to flip it around. I fumbled it like a Mizzou running back trying to grab the thing to turn the volume down.
Oh, you just might have to drink a little bit right there. Get the Plowhawk activated. That's what's going to happen there. JR, last time we talked to you, we were in the winter of our discontent, and since then, 3 straight, and including 2 wins over 2 legitimate operations, with the one in Las Vegas on Saturday and the thrilling win on Monday with Doug calls it staving off that 6-on-3 from the Avalanche. That was 2 of the most exciting minutes, or a minute 44 of the most exciting minutes of hockey you could ask for at the end of that Avalanche game. And I would imagine that could be a bit of a momentum push to get that one and get it in the fashion that they got it in Denver. Have you ever seen a 6-on-3 for nearly 2 minutes?
I've seen a 6-on-3, but not that entertaining. That was something, and you kind of saw it shaping up because Colorado gets the power play. Then you see the puck go over the net, and you're thinking over the glass rather. You're thinking 5-on-3, and you're thinking they already pulled the goalie. They're going to pull the goalie, after they put him back in the net for a second. This is going to be a 6-on-3. How are the Blues going to pull this off? And then to do it with the same 3 guys on the ice, Parayko, Mikkola, and then you had O'Reilly out there. And of course, Bennington, he was good all game. So, yeah, Doug, I agree with you. Staving it off, that was something else.
Oh,
nice.
Does that mean they think Parayko and Mikkola are their 2 best defensemen?
I think so, especially in that situation. When you talk about 2 guys, long sticks, they can
long stickers.
They can do a good job. Yeah, long stickers. They can do a good job of poking the puck away, any loose pucks, and plus, they're just. And especially Mikkola, one of the more active guys on defense, I think. So yeah, they think highly of those 2. And I'm sure you guys saw the video of Mikkola's mom sitting up in the box just going bananas. So that was quite a entertaining couple minutes.
Have you interviewed some of the mothers? Talk
yeah,
to them.
I did. It was cool, Doug. A couple days ago, sat down with about 5 of them. We were sitting in the lower bowl there at the Colorado Stadium and talked to them and just kind of threw out a couple questions. What was it like growing up raising an NHL kid or future NHL player? And it was just awesome to hear the stories, all the stinky gear, all the 4 a.m. practices they talked about, all the times that, they had to take the kid to the tournament out of town and go to the laundromat in between games, so on and so forth. So just great to hear from them in terms of what they went through to get their sons here and how appreciative they are, guys, to be on this trip and enjoying things, being around their kids.
Could they tell early on that their kid was going to be a special player?
Yeah, they did. There were a couple of them. They had situations where, coaches along the way would say, well, you're not going to make the NHL, so you really need to study. And they said, no, I don't. I'm going to be in the NHL. And these moms were like, hey, we didn't want to tell our kids they couldn't be in the NHL, so we just said work hard and we'll see what happens. But I think the best one, and this probably fits a lot of us, was Nathan Walker's mom. He was doing international schooling because they lived in Australia. And so the homework would come to the mom in Australia. She would send it to Nathan, who was playing in the Czech Republic. He said, I'm not doing this. And he sends the homework back to Australia. So his mom just can't send it in blank. So she does the homework for him. She said, hey, you got great grades.
It would have worked for anybody. Any kid would take that deal. Wow. That's a leap of faith, though, isn't it, to be from Australia and send your kid to Eastern Europe as a young teenager to play hockey?
That's exactly what she said. And she said that she took him to Czech Republic. She put him up with another family. And when she waved goodbye to him, she was absolutely bawling. And in her words, she said she got back to Sydney, and she thought, I thought the cops were going to be here to arrest me.
Yeah.
And she said, look where I am now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good thing he made it, huh?
It's a real good thing. And first Australian ever to play in the NHL. And you guys that have been down to the rink see that he's an undersized guy. He can't be, standing next to Panger. He's probably looking up to Panger.
Wow. How about that? Jamie Rutherford with us here, presented by Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Your questions, comments for JR, welcome. 314-881-TMA5. I asked Chris Kerber this yesterday on 101. JR, and we talked on Monday, so I'll throw this one at you as well. Considering where the Blues were a week ago, and also considering, what was on the docket as far as the schedule goes, when you're looking at the losing streak and a trip to Las Vegas and a trip to Colorado, this thing could have really, it was already bad, but getting to 11+ was within the realm of possibility. The ability for the team to turn it around, in the opinion of what Kerber was saying, and I think in the opinion of some people close to it, and I'm curious, that's why I'm asking what your perspective is, speaks to Craig Berube's ability to manage a room in a crisis situation. Not to say that this is as bad as it was. Maybe it was. Maybe it's worse. It's just a different group of people, a different group of players than when he came in and replaced Mike Yeo. But the ability for them to turn it around that quickly and then get that compete level back up speaks to the fact that this is not a case of a team with a coach who lost the room and needs to make a change. What is your assessment of that opinion?
Yeah, 100%. And I feel like, that's something that we've been saying for a week or so. I think that, there were questions about the team at a certain point once it got to 8 games, and it got to the point prior to that when Doug Armstrong had to address the team and address the media. Obviously, things were upside down, but I think through all of it, we were talking about Craig Berube that there wasn't a coaching issue. No players came up, and had any concerns about Craig Berube, and I think so. It does speak to what they were able to do. And Tim, if we all recall, we think about an 8-game losing streak, but remember Doug Armstrong spoke about 5-6 games into that thing. Mm-hmm. So when they came back against the Islanders, it wasn't a situation where all of a sudden they won that game and got back on track. They lost a few more games. It got even worse after Doug Armstrong spoke, and yet they're still able to corral it. So I definitely think between Berube and his ability to keep everybody together and these leaders, I know there's questions about this guy or that guy, so on and so forth, but I've been around a lot of locker rooms and got the utmost respect for guys like O'Reilly, Shen, some of these guys that can grab a hold of this locker room.
Right now, they've scored only 34 goals in their 14 games. They've scored fewer goals than any other team in the league. Coming off a year when they had, 9 20-goal scorers? How does that happen?
Yeah, that's one of the biggest questions. I think I saw a stat the other day that said McDavid and Draisaitl had as many goals as the Blues. at even strength. So the two Edmonton Stars. So
Yeah.
it's pretty remarkable. And even at the start of the season, Doug, people were asking how many 20-goal scorers do you think they had? And I think I penciled them in for 7 or so, and they're going to fall short of that and fall short of the offensive expectations I think that people had for this team. It just hasn't looked good offensively. You know, part of it's been guys like Kyrou and O'Reilly, some of these guys getting off to really slow starts. But even when these guys are scoring, I think it's a situation, just not enough play to the net, not enough play directed at the net. And I think they're getting better at it. Obviously, they've scored more in these last 3 games. I think it's 11 goals in these last 3 games after scoring 12 in that 8-game losing streak. So things are on the uptick, but I don't think they'll quite get to the numbers they had last year.
Jeremy Rutherford with us every Wednesday, presented by Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies. You can find Mark at evergreenstl.com or give him a call at 314-889-0503. Everyone needs a financial advisor. I don't care if you're 21, 22 years old. It helps the cause. And Mark Hanna is a first-class individual, and I recommend him. A number of people on the dais working with him, a number of friends of mine working with him, 314-889-0503, or go online at evergreenstl.com. All right, we got a bunch of questions in here, and I'm just going to go in order. JR, simple question. Can the Blues win a Stanley Cup with Colton Parayko on the top pair? That's from Harrison's brother, Master.
I think they can if the rest of the defense is playing well. I think that's how this defense is built. And if you have Leddy and Parayko going, you have Krug and Falk going. I'm not saying that's definitely a top 4 that's going to win you a cup, but I think they can. Is that what the question is?
Can you ask JR if he thinks they will move Krug before the deadline? Down to about 15 minutes a night is kind of telling. That's from Strode, the salami man.
Oh.
Yeah, I think Krug's been playing through something. We know at the end of the year last year he had that injury where he left the playoffs. He had that knee injury, and also I think that he's been dealing with an upper body injury too, so that might be more injury-related at the minute. I don't think they're going to trade a guy in that top 4 heading into the deadline if they're playing well. Now, if they slide out of this, they fall out of contention, no chance at the playoffs. I think you could see Krug moved prior to the deadline, and if not then, I think he's a guy that they could bring up in the offseason in terms of somebody they'd move.
Two-parter here from Carlos Spicy Wiener, who I think someday is going to go into the Hall of Fame.
Don't always need two-parter.
Yeah, but Doug, you wanted to at least hear about one part. Any chance Army picks up Pascal Rayome or Scott Pellerin to fortify the lineup whenever the injury bug hits? And secondarily, would you consider an activity the person does frequently at hourly intervals at a time, sometimes making it all the way to page 26 of the content before being satisfied and inducing carpal tunnel syndrome and addiction? Thanks, Carlos Spicy Wiener. Doug, I don't know how relevant those were, but yet wonderful.
Well,
Yeah, no, Spicy Wiener. I don't get a lot of scoops here, but I do have a Life 360 on the Blues coaching staff, and they were watching Pascal Rayome at a men's senior beer league last night.
I knew it.
She played, and that was early 90s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Doug,
she was beautiful, though. She was really
Or you know about
girl.
Pascal, then there was Manon.
Oh, that's who I'm thinking of. Manon
Rayome.
Yeah,
Well, she was at the Ning?
Yeah, I actually
think
got
so.
into a preseason game.
That was her brother. I forgot that Pascal was her brother.
I became good friends with her.
You became good friends with Manon Rayome?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Well,
Come
my
on.
definition of good friends, we chatted quite a bit.
Quite a bit with who?
I had her on a couple shows I did, and we kind of hit it off.
Oh, for heaven. Jeremy, I'm sorry you have to hear this. Turn the radio sound down in the hotel
This
again.
is great.
Hey, JR, two-parter, do you think they'll ever serve helmet nachos at Enterprise Center? Also, when Berube and Gunnarsson had that well-known piss, do you think either one of them ween-peaked? Feels like that was an obvious follow-up question. Thanks. That's Alan Dadeville. And, Doug, I feel like we're starting to lose this one.
Yeah, it's going downhill.
I don't think they're going to do the helmet nachos, but if you're a pro like me, you bring your own. So bring my own.
BYOHN?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd like to see the look
And
on
don't bring them-
Caruso's face if he walked into the press box with those.
I tell you what, it never fails. Every time I'm going to a meal or I got a plate, Kelly Chase is going to be walking by at some point. He just he walks by. I think I was at a taco place in California one time, and they gave me an extra plate. I didn't need one, but they said, "Here, buddy, you need 2 plates." So I put my food on the 2 plates. All of a sudden, Kelly Chase walks in. 10 seconds later, he goes, "Buddy, easy."
I saw Chaser and Scott Darling having a nice little exchange yesterday, and you noted that anytime something starts with a "hey, buddy" from Chaser, it's not necessarily going to be followed up with a positive thought.
It's unbelievable. As soon as I saw that tweet, and I know you guys have talked about it, his comment to Scott Darling, I didn't know what Scott Darling said. I didn't know who this was directed at. But as soon as I saw Chaser's tweet that said, "Hey, buddy," I go, "Where's my glasses? I got to read this one."
Well, what would be the worst place to play in the NHL?
Yeah, your Mount Rushmore of worst
We
places.
don't think it's St. Louis.
Well, I guess it's changed over the years, but Buffalo's not a great place to go to.
No.
I think over the years, Edmonton, Winnipeg, kind of been frowned upon. But
Yeah, we got those three. What's the fourth?
I tossed in Detroit.
You doing Detroit?
Oh yeah, Detroit, but that's picked up. They got a new arena and there's a casino area, and it's fun. I mean,
Where is that? I haven't been there. Doug, you were at Joe Louis, I assume.
Yeah.
And that was right on the water.
Right.
Where is the new thing?
Yeah, I hop in an Uber and just go to the rink, but it's. I want to say it's got to be. It's not on the water. It's not downtown like that. It's a little ways, 10, 15 minutes away from there. But it's a good spot. Yeah, it's a good spot. But yeah, you're right. I mean, Detroit could be on that list too.
Okay.
So, Doug, you feel better? Scott
we
Darling
kind of nailed it.
was wrong. JR, do you ever find yourself not paying attention to the game and checking your emails? That's from the birthday.
Yeah, I guarantee you JR checks his email during the game.
Sometimes if you read my stories, you'd probably figure that, I'm checking my emails a lot during the game. So, there's a few times where you nod off. You watch 82 of these things. How are you going to watch them all, right?
You think the Athletic might pick up on the story of the romantic interlude between Iggy and Mano Rayom?
That could be your exclusive.
Mm-hmm. No, somebody's already on our Wikipedia page changing it.
Oh, is that right? It's already been changed?
That's what they do.
You had a good piece yesterday on The Athletic, the 5 reasons for the Blues turnaround, Binnington line combinations, and more. I mean, Binnington has been something else. This is... What do you think's going on? I mean, when you talk to his teammates, the coaches, what are they saying about this? Because I realize the save percentage isn't that great, but as you note in your column, he didn't exactly have the strongest play in front of him. So this has really been something else. And maybe it's flying under the radar around the league because the stats aren't necessarily as indicative of how strong he has been and really how consistent he's been.
Yeah, thankfully, Binnington played well because I was able to write one of those and feel good about it. The other 4 I kind of made up because I haven't been watching the games here lately. But the Binnington one, I know every time I look up, every once in a while he's making a pretty good save. So I figure I could go with that one. He's been great. What, a .933 save percentage in these 3 games. And, there's been a thing going on the internet. I think you'll see national guy Greg Wyshynski, who I really like, but he's mentioned that, maybe Binnington's been a question mark. And I think if you look at the stats, it could be because I think he's sitting there at a .904. But I think a lot of people who've watched the games have noticed that he's been good all year. And even during the bad stretch, there was a lot of bad play in front of him. You guys remember all those backdoor tap-ins, so on and so forth.
Oh, my God. And as you noted, I saw you tweeting about it, that the amount of goals they would give up in a short period of time during that losing streak, it was unreal. Like you listed 6 or 7 games where there were so many goals in a short period of time, and the game would just get away. That Islanders game being certainly one that stood out. But it went all the way back to the game against the Blue Jackets when they gave up 2 in the second period in 18 seconds to open the season.
Yeah, I think if the way I judge it, if you go home and you think, gosh, they could have won that game if Binnington would have played well, there haven't been any of those this year.
No. But there are, 66 games to play, and there's still just 8 points anyway, out of first place. So
you have to remind me there's 66 left. Thanks, Bud.
Yeah, it's a lot of travel for you to places like Buffalo and Winnipeg and Edmonton. But as the bad taste in our mouth we got from such a bad start, it's really something that they could shake off, and it looks like they're in the process of doing that now.
Yeah, and other teams haven't played well either, and I know that's something that Tim probably brought up on 101, that some of these other teams in the division, Colorado got off to a slow start, playing better lately. Minnesota hasn't been good. So, they're still in a decent spot. So if there's any way you guys could kind of cut those sound bites from 10 days ago, anything I said that said this is doom and gloom,
we'll just delete those. We can do that.
Yeah,
we can absolutely do that. We'll be happy to
delete those. But no, they're still in a tough spot. They really are. Like, this is going to be hard, especially we talked about the lack of offense earlier. Things like that. But I think when you talk about 66 games left and you talk about a couple wins over Vegas and Colorado, this team, you never know. Like, you go back to 2018-19, we're not talking about winning a cup now, but you could put yourself back into contention, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry that you had so many negative things to say that we got to go back through our archives now and cut them out.
I have to hold you accountable for that. If they lose tonight, though, we'll just leave them in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this week.
You know, it's a night-by-night thing. Jeremy Rutherford, every Wednesday on the Ryan Kelly Morning After, brought to you by Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategy. Sounds like he's running from the law.
I am.
Yeah.
I had to step outside after that incident before.
Did you really?
Yeah, and you know Chicago, like you can't walk on 2 streets without hearing a siren somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
A lot of lead in the air there.
All right, JR, go enjoy the festivities in Chi-Town this evening, and we will look forward to talking again soon. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. See you, man. See you, Jackson, too. All right, guys.
Oh, no, right there.
God.
These hockey guys are sideways with Jackson.
Yeah, he called me ma'am when I called in. When I called him today. He goes,
Yeah, Kerber goes
man.
after him. Well, it's a good thing Chase isn't on these days. Chase would have him pinned up against the wall.
What did I do?
They're chirping your brand because you like the NBA over the NHL.
That's right.
Yeah, me and like most Americans.
Ah!
Not like most St. Louisans.
He's going to do the TV ratings.
I digress. I'm not.
thing.
I'm going to digress. I'm going to let the haters hate.
Okay.
I love hockey, but St. Louis is.
Your mic's off, brother.
I love hockey, but St. Louis is fascinated with like second-rate. Like you got the XFL, the MLS. Now you have, hockey.
You calling the MLS second-rate guy?
Well, yeah, the Bundesliga. There's second Bundesliga. There's the EPL. Do I need to continue?
Well, those are in different.
This is a
different
take.
continents.
The Plowhawk is going to take all the shrapnel off of Ken and Jackson for the next 40 minutes because this is
Bring
going
it on, baby.
You're going to be less popular than Scott Darling with this take.
Well, I think the NBA is.
You say second tier, maybe not second rate.
Well, when you think about the NFL, probably the NHL, probably the third or fourth most popular.
Doug, rank the league's popularity in the United States and then rank them in St. Louis. So I need you to give me 2 power rankings if you could.
In the United States, NFL,
I agree.
NBA,
I agree.
MLB, NHL.
I agree.
I think you're right on that.
In St. Louis, it's MLB, probably NHL, NFL, NBA.
I would agree with that. Jackson, do you agree with that?
Yes, that's accurate. I'm St. Louis, but the gap between them all is closer than people allude to.
I don't know.
In St. Louis, you're talking.
Yes, in St. Louis. Not the national. Doug is spot on.
No matter where I go and who I talk to in St. Louis, I don't ever hear anybody talking about the NBA. It never comes up in my
Jackson might be in here fighting you.
No, it's just difference of like who the people like. For me, I never ever talk like none of my friends. We never had conversations about the Blues or hockey growing up.
Have you ever?
Never.
Do you ever go to games?
Very few, handful of games I've been to.
Recently, have you been? And you don't enjoy that when you go?
Right when we started here, like in January or February of 2022, I went to a game. And I enjoy going to the game. I have no beef with hockey. I just particularly don't care about the sport in general.
Yeah. Well, it is a fun time to go to the games.
Yeah, I love going.
I love I've been lucky enough to go, I guess, 2 or 3 times this year with my son. And now that he's kind of, interested, I don't know if he'll play or not, but that's the best. It is fun. It is legitimately fun. And it truly is. People would say it, but I do feel like the game is so much better in person.
Oh, yeah.
Than on television. I mean, Stanley Cup playoffs, so I don't care if I'm on television there. It's outstanding. But
it's just a fun night because it's only going to last about 2 hours and 40 minutes. They crank up the music. You get a break between periods to wander around a little bit.
Parking could be better. If there's one complaint, the Kiel area there is nice.
That garage you can't get into that garage unless you buy it pre-season. Is that the deal? Like for the entire garage?
That you have offices that offer, if they have corporate ticket, and they offer parking pass into the people that take the tickets. But if you tried to exit that place, because usually in hockey, unlike Major League Baseball or any other sport, I stayed for the entirety of the game if it's close enough. Hockey is always very intense. But if you exit that parking garage all at the same time, I'm not kidding, you're there for 30 minutes. You are in there, in your car, sitting idle for 30 minutes.
I usually park at a garage about 2 blocks east.
Yeah.
Where there's not a long wait to get out. But it's always been $10. This year it's $20.
Oh, wow.
100%
Double
inflation.
shoot.
And the Cardinals have done the same thing. Parking down there right by the stadium is like $40 now. It's at least $30, and a lot of places it's $40 to park.
I'll never justify spending $40, $50 on parking.
Do you think, especially the Blues, the majority of the people are going because they enjoy hockey, or are they going because they enjoy the atmosphere? Because, I mean, if you're sitting up in like Daddy Padre seats, you can't really
Daddy
see.
Padre got hit.
Oh, you can see up
You
there.
can't really see that. I mean, you can't
Yeah,
see
you
the
can.
puck
Yeah,
moving.
I got to tell you, I disagree with
You can see guys skating, but you can't see the puck.
Really?
Yes, you can.
Me and Madison and her dad, we actually got tickets to where we were up so high, so 2 years ago, you could actually touch like, you're all the way up there. You're touching the ceiling, the rafters. And I couldn't have had more fun, but I'm 100% with you. It was all fun because of the atmosphere. You could see the puck. It's not a great game day setting being up in the 400 level. But still, you could see we had the
They even
vision
have a
was
400
fun.
level. It's
or
300.
whatever that is. You know, the
Right at the
version
top.
of the 400.
Yeah, so I call them Daddy Padre seats.
But you
whatever's
could
the way
say
up there.
you could say that about almost every sport. You get Cardinal baseball tickets at the top in the upper deck, down the line. You can't see.
Baseball, going to a Cardinal baseball game is 90% for social media, drinking, and helmet nachos. If you actually go to the game, there are very few people with eyes glued to the field. I mean, very few. You have conversation going.
Well,
you
you
have
do.
people taking pictures, people on the phone looking at their DraftKings
Well, you can do
and
both. You
FanDuel
still got time
accounts.
to watch when here comes the pitch.
If you go to a baseball game for entertainment, whew, Jesus. I mean, how?
I would say the
Like
improvement,
how?
the improvement of watching a game on TV to in person is the greatest in hockey. Like watching a game in person at the hockey game is so much better than watching on TV. Whereas like football, I actually think is better on TV.
Yeah.
Baseball, I think is better on TV, and depending on where your seats are, basketball is better on TV.
Well, baseball on TV, you get the best view of the pitcher to the batter.
Well, a bathroom for me for baseball games.
Bathroom?
You have to go so many bathroom trips on baseball.
He's got a prostate problem.
The game only lasts 3 hours. How many times you got to go to the bathroom?
You know how many
beers have I had?
You know how many people
3?
are out on the concourse?
3 times then.
Outside smoking out on the concourse when like a big inning is coming up and like.
Well, you've got 40,000 people there. There's going to be a few that aren't.
I
really
said
locked in.
I said 10% of the people are locked and glued in, but 90% of the people are there for the drink, the social media posts, and the helmet nachos.
I was whatever like that Islanders debacle 2 Thursdays ago. I'm a regular at the Thursday game. I'm in the Thursday club, so maybe I'll be there tomorrow for Laissez Capitale. And there was a girl, legitimately, nice looking, and she was walking through the concourse with, I guess, I don't know if she was Instagram, I mean, just like doing the duck lips thing, and I'm going, God.
Look at me. I'm in a game.
So, Pollock, that's what you think people are doing at the games?
But
for social media?
doesn't that happen everywhere? That happens at the mall. That happens anywhere you go. There's people taking pictures of themselves.
Well, if you want to compare Cardinal baseball to going to the mall, then you can certainly do that. But yes, it does happen. But the point was, when you go to hockey games, everyone's glued. There's action nonstop. Very little whistles. I mean, the intermissions are quick. Everything about hockey is fantastic for the quickness of the game. And even when it's a scoreless game, it's not like soccer where they're kicking it across, 150 yards and you've got guys running back and forth. You have hitting, checking, you have shots on net. Dude, baseball, I can't be entertained going to live baseball games. It's the most boring, paint drying thing I have ever witnessed. And I'll go to 3 or 4 games every year, and I love it. But it's not because I can't wait to see this pitching duel.
Well, there are a lot of
no
people
way
who feel
I could
the
be
same way.
entertained with 9 innings of baseball.
There's
and if
many
you
people,
are, it's tough.
There's many who feel the same way, but there's probably just as many that really are into Cardinal baseball. There's both.
I mean, Giovanni Gallego got me out of baseball.
Well, they're trying to fix that.
45 seconds to a minute. I'm done, bro. You may be a good pitcher, but I'm done with that.
This
I'm
next
going
year,
to get a beer.
you get 20 seconds, right? Next year?
That's a rule I can get behind. I would do even less than that. If you have the ball in your glove, you have 15 seconds, or it's an automatic base runner.
Yeah. Well, I think if I'm not mistaken, that rule clicks in next year, where you get 20 seconds to pitch. And I think 25 if there's a guy on base.
That's why people use the pine tar and stuff. You have so much time in between pitching. Go to your hat, go to your wrist. If it's pitch immediately, I'm all for that. 4 hours at Busch Stadium. Oh, my Nellyville. It is brutal.
Doug, tonight, if you would like, you can go see City Park as it opens its doors for the first time to the public. St. Louis City 2 taking on a team from the first Bundesliga or the second Bundesliga?
I'm not sure. It's at first.
Doug, is it Bayer Leverkusen?
I don't know. Who do you think I am? Sporting director Lutz Pfannenstiel?
It is his name, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah.
I've heard Lutz and I've heard Lutz, and people will argue about it, but then I heard him say it's Lutz, so I go with whatever.
Lutz. We make a good transaction. I want everyone in the crowd to yell, Lutz.
Will you be in attendance tonight?
Will I be?
Yeah.
No, I don't have tickets tonight.
That may cover it.
Yeah, I got a
You may go
credential.
down there and cover it?
Yeah, cover it for the station. You're back full time.
Oh, you want me to cover it?
Yeah.
Well, I'll be covering so many other things. I don't know that I'll have time to stop in there, too. I would love to go if it weren't 30 degrees outside. I'm a wuss in cold weather. I admit it.
Yeah. Well, if I had a scarf, I might go.
Now you can watch it on ESPN Plus.
I thought, oh yeah, Cook, this isn't an MLS game.
The team will reveal its uniforms for next season today at 11 o'clock.
Oh, great.
You can break it down live on Balloon Party.
And then there's going to be an argument over whether or not it's pink. It's City Red.
That's
Is that what it is? Is it River Red or City Red?
I think City Red is what they call it.
Iggy's hat, Doug, is that City Red?
That's pink.
That's pink.
That hat is pink.
But that's pretty close to the jerseys.
Hopefully it's better than that team that's got CLT on the front of their jersey.
Charlotte Hornets.
Oh, my God, there's the Belleville guy. Oh, my God, he's soiling our station.
They bring his wife in?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Well, there was a woman behind him. I'm sure his wife doesn't travel with him. She's just as humiliated
That's his
as I am.
handler.
Stephen Wildwood's worked up. I am going tonight. I am going to call in with a review tomorrow. Also, hey, you little twerp, pack up all your NBA takes and jump in the mighty Mississippi and jump out in Memphis and unload them on the Harry and Shrimp show down there. That is Steve in Wildwood.
Harry and Shrimp.
Okay. Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, it should be a fun contest. Are they supposed to win? What's the line?
Doug, do you have the number?
I don't have the line.
I mean, Leverkusen is a...
It's a friendly, isn't it?
Yeah, but Leverkusen's a, Bundesliga team. They take it seriously out there.
You follow Leverkusen, do you?
No, I mean, I follow Champions League and like Dortmund and Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga.
So this is basically the Peoria Rivermen versus the Blues. Am I correct on this?
I don't, probably not that extreme.
Riveting.
Okay, knock it off. This is our new club.
Musical number broke out.
What if it turns out that they're really good?
They could be. I don't know the roster. I don't know the jerseys. I think that's a little weird.
Get the jerseys at 11 o'clock.
I heard in one news conference somebody asked sporting director Lutz Pfannenstiel if there would put an emphasis on St. Louis players, and he said, no, the emphasis will be getting the absolute best players we can get.
Yeah.
We have to have the best players. We're in the big leagues here.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah,
I support Lutz.
Yeah.
Every soccer team has guys from all over the world.
Yeah.
You get the best guys.
And I like to cross-promote our stations. I just got an email that
I saw that too.
That Moon and Michelle Smallman are doing a soccer podcast, getting everyone familiar with soccer who may be novices, and they had Lutz on their last podcast.
I am going to listen because I have no clue the rules of soccer.
Really? You don't know even the rules?
I know the basics of what the offsides is, but I don't know how many player can be. It's just a tough sport.
The offsides rule in soccer might be the single worst rule in all of
ridiculous.
Sports. Yeah. You gotta let guys go wherever the hell they want to go.
No, you can't. You can't play.
Yes, you could. That would widen out the players. It would space them out more. There'd be more action.
The score would be 50-50.
No, it wouldn't be 50.
If you had the striker just sitting on the box
you'd
on
have
the
to keep
other side,
You'd have to keep a defender back there with him.
I guess.
It's called cherry picking.
Doug, the chants have been released for tonight's game.
Oh my gosh, please, yes.
Jackson, let me send you the link because you are one. You perform the chants.
Okay, yeah, send those over and I'll do them.
And he's really good at these. I'll let people know about Tommy Sabolka and VIP, Doug, because that allows Jackson to warm up for his chants for tonight's game.
Okay.
Just like Ram rules?
I don't know. They were just sent in. Commercial van and truck upfitting. Van and truck upfitting for commercial fleet vehicles is what they do at VIP Auto Accessories. VIP is all local since 1979. Once employees start working there, they don't stop. They have people employed for 35, 41, and 42 years. And the company's only 43 years old. That means people have been working there all their lives because it's a great place to work. VIP is part of the TMA ecosystem. They do work with Design Air and Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota, among others. Want to talk to Tommy Cibulka directly? Great. He wants to talk to you. 314-428-3900, or go online at, or you can email him at tommycibulka, tommy.cibulka, at VIPAutoaccessories.com. That's tommy.cibulka at VIPAutoaccessories.com. VIP Auto Accessories is your one-stop full-service shop for all your commercial auto accessory needs. They do van and truck upfitting for commercial fleet vehicles, provide graphic solutions for vehicles, retail office space, floors, windows, and more, and have a full array of public safety solutions, including for EMS and police fleets. It's VIP Auto Accessories. Doug, here is Jackson with tonight's chance.
I like the chance. Let's hear him, Jackson.
Let's hear him.
So a lot of them don't tell me what they're in the tune of, but I'll do the ones that I think I can do.
Didn't we know the one for the goalie was like a Roma, 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 Gaga, ooh la la, nice save on their corner kick. Got our goalie, Roman. Something like that.
All right, this one's called Get Down Tonight.
Okay.
Drink a couple beers, score a couple goals, get down tonight. Get down tonight. Get down tonight. Get down, get down, get down, get down. This, I mean, I'm
I
just.
don't think that's a great one.
They're not telling me what the tune is.
Who's chanting this? Well, let's get down tonight. I think
The
that's
fans.
Casey
And this
the
is
Sunshine
supposed
Band.
to be a league that we take seriously, am I correct?
The Plowhawk is attacking.
Well, this is
This is Rams. This is Rams rules.
They do- chants
here.
are very-
This is absolutely a little over
you
the
gotta
top.
have
This is
some
what goes
chants.
on at soccer games.
There's not a lot of action on the field to see, so people chant and sing and do that kind of thing.
So you go for the
Chanting.
chants.
You go for the social.
We're St. Louis City.
Oh, nice.
Hey, we're St. Louis City. We're St. Louis City. Who are you? Oi, 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 oi.
Okay, now that's not a good one.
Why? What was the problem with that?
The oi, oi, oi.
That's Australian.
We're trying to act. Oh my God, this is so cringy. It's so cringy.
Hey, St. Louis SC. We want to know, will you score some goals?
Horrible. That's like a third grade chant.
That's the one we'll be singing a lot.
They're probably way better. I'm just terrible at this.
This is where you have to act like you've been there before.
This
don't
is
make
bad.
fools of yourself for your first soccer game.
This is embarrassing.
But they quite literally
People who
haven't been
go,
here
this
before.
is what they enjoy. This is part of the Doug pageantry.
I assume the words will be on a scoreboard somewhere. So
Yeah, they will be. And they'll probably play the music behind it. That's what I'm
Yeah,
missing.
the drums.
There's one to Seven Nation Army, and I kind of know that song. That's the White Stripes, right?
Well, it's played like 30 times at every sporting event.
Right, but I don't know like what tune they're going for. Like it says, "Who are we?" STL, and it says that about 18 times.
Nice.
Who are we? STL.
Play that on Bullet
Are other stadiums singing that?
We want to have the loudest stadium in the NFL.
To help us all come
I don't see
together
the
as the
difference.
12th Ram, we've created Ram Rules.
Well, the
Follow
difference
these
is
5 rules to give
we've
our
watched
team
NFL
dome
football
field advantage.
forever.
Together
we know what
as
happens.
one, we can do it.
We can do it!
Oh,
I mean, the LA Galaxy do that. We
Yeah.
are the LA Galaxy. We are the LA Galaxy. Get down tonight. Get down tonight. Are they doing that?
possibly.
I bet every team has a chance.
Well, I'm
Yeah, but not
excited
that many.
to see that.
There's more apparently. Apparently,
Yeah,
I
I
need to
mean-
get a full list. No, I'm sure. I mean, English clubs have 1,000 chance.
They've also been
Well, I'm not
around
going to
since
poo-poo it. I
1880.
mean, I haven't been
But
to a
what-
game yet. They're new, and I wish them all the best, and I hope they sell out every game. I hope they do well. I'll be at a couple of games, so I'm not going to poo-poo it.
Well,
but
it's
that
going to be
just-
successful.
That
Just
just sounds kind of dumb.
There are going to be people that don't like it, but they're going to sell out every single game. I mean,
Hope so.
it's absolutely going to be super popular.
I hope the place outside is flooded with security.
I could not see my. I don't do the power play dance. I could not see myself breaking my neck looking at a big screen, reading lyrics to a made-up chant for a team I don't know, one player. So it's going to take
Fozzie,
me a while.
have you sought out the roster? I've heard you say that you don't know the roster. Have
Well,
you sought out?
I don't know any player's name, so I think that's all my
You're not
lack of
recognizing
soccer knowledge. Correct.
Gotcha.
Todd Reesing is not happy with you. Doug, you remember him? He got sacked in the end zone.
Yeah, had grass on his helmet.
Grass in the helmet.
I'll repeat. Why does Darren have to S on everything? That's from Todd Reesing.
Again, you didn't let me finish the entire take. I find the chant super embarrassing. It's a Ram rules for sure. But again, I said they will sell out every single game for at least 2 or 3 years. It will be absolutely booming. Maggie O'Brien's will be packed to the gills. It's going to be all positive for St. Louis. This is just from a casual soccer fan. That got me so lack of pumped up. I can't even explain it. Like, the chants are for the diehards, and I completely get that. But if the casual fans enter the arena and that's basically what it is the entire time, I don't know if I would enjoy that. But again, going to be popular, make a ton of money, and the stadium looks stunning. So there are positives and negatives to this, I assure you.
Cub fans used to sing. Remember that their championship year when they'd win, they'd all sing after the game. That was pretty cool.
They said that. They still play that song.
Yeah, that
Go
was
Cubs,
cool.
go.
Go Cubs, go.
Yeah, that's nice. I wish we had a song like that for our teams.
And again, these chants could become regular. Again, it's new. So I don't want to totally bash. I found the chants, and I found Jackson's reading amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
I really like how you did that.
I think they're going to be a lot better when you hear a little background music, and there's like a couple thousand people doing it, not just one like bad singer, balding, so on and so forth.
In Miami, they had one for the Dolphins. It went like this. Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1. That was it.
The Mills brothers right there.
And the people loved it.
After the game, though.
Guys, why haven't you clowns mentioned that A.J. McCarron is finally donning the Battlehawk blue and steel? Thanks, that's from Wolf Boy.
Right.
Because we weren't talking Battlehawks.
And Ryan Willis is his backup quarterback.
That was a good pick.
A.J. McCarron.
You like the pick?
He was a pretty good player in college.
You got a
wasn't he?
take?
He had the girlfriend that Brent Musburger swooned over. Right?
He did.
Did he get drafted?
Kirk
in the NBA?
Herbstreit was involved in that too, but somehow, similar to Jeremy Rutherford wanting us to doctor the audio, Herbstreit has been left out of that discussion. But I was watching the Twitter tweet of that video yesterday when the Battlehawks picked him, and I'm like, oh, Herbstreit was super active in that too.
Yeah. That's how twisted we've become, where an announcer can't show a shot of a beautiful girl in the stadium, and he can't say, wow, the quarterbacks get all the beautiful girls, without half the country just losing their minds.
Or 3 people on Twitter and then getting retweeted. But I'd like you to apologize if you could.
But it's a name brand. At least, like, you've seen A.J. McCarron have success. He had a little bit of success there, a cup of coffee with the Bengals. Again, I know you asked if he was in the NFL. He did play for Cincy for a couple of years. But at least, like, Jordan Ta'amu, we didn't really know who he was. And obviously Heineke. Yeah, we didn't really know any of them. So at least they start out with kind of a name brand college icon as your quarterback. So I think that was a great start.
And the lesson with Heineke is that even though we don't know who they are, they're not big name NFL quarterbacks, they're still quality players.
That'll be the first question in that locker room.
What?
Welcome to St. Louis. Talk to Brent Musburger often? That'll be it.
That's the first question? Have you tried the toasted ravioli? Oh, boy.
That Jim Thomas asking that question.
Where'd you go to high school now that you're in St. Louis? Welcome to the team.
Whatever happened to Happy Darren when you guys first started at Hubbard? He's morphing into 590 Darren. He's due for a self-furlough. Plowsy, that's from Scooter. Plowsy, tell me you've never been to a real football game without telling me you've never been. That's from the Festus Fluffer. Darren, do you have to have a take on everything? You've already said you don't know anything about soccer, yet you have to crap on it. Just shut up already. That's from the 618. Todd Reesing is back. It's not just this take, every topic you S on. That's from Todd Reesing.
Oh.
I mean, I will admit I haven't been to many soccer games, but I think my main point was the chants are embarrassing. I mean, you heard them. Everybody heard them. Yeah. They are embarrassing.
Don't you think?
And whether you want to admit it or not, I didn't say they wouldn't be successful. Like, it's great for the city. It's fantastic.
It's just a chance at
it's
Huckleberry in your saddle.
Iggy said it best. It's really trying too hard to be in the club when those should just come naturally.
Well, what if every other team's got their chance and we don't have one?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the deal.
Yeah.
Soccer games.
No, I get it. Again, I'm anti-chant guy, but I'm not anti-having soccer in St. Louis guy. I think it's great.
Yeah. Well, if the chants were good and clever, it'd be one thing. If they're just stupid, then it kind of feels forced.
Yeah, I'm giving Mizzou credit like the last few weeks. I said Brady Cook had a great game. I mean, I just don't put a positive spin on a dumpster fire just for the sake of having people enjoy listening to me. I think you got to be a little honest.
Want me to do the goalie chant again?
Yes, please.
Yes, please. Yes.
Oh, blocks by our man Roman.
Nice.
Oh, nothing gets past Roman. Roman, 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 Burkhard, ooh la la. He don't let nothing pass.
Just that he don't is not good.
Actually,
Other than
like
that,
that
I think
one.
that's the chant that
So
will
you're
work.
like he doesn't.
Yeah.
But then you're adding that syllable, and that's the problem. And that's why we go with don't when we sing it.
How about if they just said he won't let anything pass, it would work.
He won't let anything, but it's nothing. He won't let nothing pass.
He won't let balls get past.
He won't let balls get past.
Or shots.
Who sings that?
Bad
Gaga.
Romance, baby.
Well, let's keep it that way.
Okay. Now that's a
Super
chant that
tech.
might have legs.
That was a bit, I think.
Because
Again.
people will know the song, they'll know the tune.
Let me say it again. It's going to be popular. Money will be flowing into the city. Beautiful infrastructure, gorgeous stadium. The chants suck.
Oh.
So you can have positive and negatives. But I realize you need the atmosphere. That's kind of what soccer is.
What about the Ted Lasso chants?
See, I haven't watched Ted Lasso.
Jamie Tart, do 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 do. Jamie Tart.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
See, I like the beat of that.
Well, it's Baby Shark. It's always super catchy.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that song.
And the Roy Kent one's a little more.
Darren, how about your Cardinal take 5 minutes ago? That's from Todd Reesing. What was your Cardinal take?
That baseball live is boring? I mean,
Yeah, and you couldn't watch a game.
I can't watch 4 hours. I can't intently watch a 4-hour baseball game in
Yeah.
a stadium. And my point was, most people do go there for social interactions. You're meeting friends. You're going with family. You're going with a group of coworkers. Having a few drinks. It takes a little bit to get those drinks. You're out smoking a cigarette. You're kind of hanging out, walking the concourse. I've been to enough baseball games to where I see the percentage of people actually paying attention to the people, casual conversations on their phone, taking pictures. I mean, that's obvious. In comparison to going to a hockey game, I think comparing those two, it's night and day difference.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm here for Plowsy versus Soccer Guy. This rivalry will be up there with the Iron Bowl, Duke, North Carolina, and St. Louisans versus Carbohydrates. Thanks. That's Al, and he's in Dadeville.
Well, where you compare hockey to baseball, hockey is much more intense. And you do get those breaks between periods to get up and walk around. Where in baseball, if you're going to get anything at all, if you're going to get your helmet nacho, the game is still going to be going on.
Well, my point was we were comparing what's better watching it live and on TV, and that was my point. To where baseball's, it's fine live because you have that great view. You can see the entire game. To where hockey is so much better live. And my point was going to a baseball game live in comparison to hockey, it's just absolutely night and day. It could not be
You
more
won't be
paint
rooting
drying.
for the soccer team to struggle so that
Not at
Lutz
all.
Pfannenstiel is on the hot seat.
No, who?
Lutz Pfannenstiel.
Oh, no.
Sporting director.
Look, I want them to have all the success in the world. I'm not trying to say I hope they pack up their stuff and move to Charlotte or something like that. That's not what I'm saying. I think the chants and the whole thing it's not my cup of tea personally. Again, this is my opinion. I'm not saying everybody is saying this. One guy. Soccer guy wants to come after me. That's fine. You tell me
He
you
knows
like
where to
those
find you, Pepper and Genie. What's on Pepper and Genie today?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to go after soccer guy.
No.
Nah, I'm kidding. I don't know what we're going to talk about.
Eggy, got anything that's got you going?
We came up with an organic one yesterday, and
Right,
it
so I
ended
was
up working out
texting.
pretty good. What?
Who are you texting? No, nobody. Okay.
Pete Weber, if you need to know. But yeah, that's what I was texting with.
You were really texting with Pete Weber?
Thought maybe it was Mano Rayon called.
Man, I heard you on the show this morning. Very good.
You really hit it off.
Yeah, she turned Swedish somehow. What was the question?
What's on Pepper and Genie?
I don't know.
Texting with Pete Weber.
Yeah, what is that text exchange like?
Oh, he's just dropping off a bowling ball for a gobble boy. Just want to let me know where he's dropping it.
Oh, is he? Signed?
Yeah.
Can you bowl with an autographed bowling ball? Would the signature come off? It would, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because you're wiping your ball with a towel.
Yeah,
Almost.
because the ball's going down a lane with a bunch of oil on it and then
Is
coming.
that Hoosier?
Well, I mean, if whoever wins it, it's going to be a good Storm ball. That's all I use is a Storm. So
What do you
it'll be
mean a
nice,
Storm ball?
It's a brand.
It's made by Storm. So if you want to use the ball, go get it plugged and re-drilled and use it. That's up to you. But I can't tell you not to use it. But it will be autographed. So
Just walk into a bowling shop. Hey, can I get my holes plugged?
How do they do that? How do they do that?
I have no idea. Iggy's the expert
it's
on that.
just a liquid that dries, and then you can drill into the ball.
Okay.
To fit your own hand.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Design Air Heating and Cooling Email.
Thank God.
8:47 a.m. It's time for the begin in the middle of sentences. Some people say I, quote, Iggy hijack. So I was interviewing Learn, and she said something, end quote. So let me tell the story with an attempt to subliminally imply that she is interested in me. Then further fib by saying she brought up the subject of sex. But this email is actually about long sticks. My first TMA live after the Lemmings opened. I was excited, so I got there early. Some khaki guy yelled, "How'd you shoot?" But before I could answer, he was yanking off my clothes as we were in a snuggle struggle. 2 seconds later, I was eye to eye with his pork power sword. My breath excited him, and bam, I was covered in his love snot.
Who was that, Tim?
Mel, and then the last name is Kiztiz.
Mel Kais?
Mel Kiztiz.
What?
That's the appropriate response.
But he's been suspended, this fella. Mel Kais. Suspended a period of 2 days' time. His name, right now, is going into the suspension log. And that doesn't feel very good for him or his family.
Good morning, Sads. The Crystal City chat was so damn hot. Nothing like one of them Festus 9s. Scissors and cucking doesn't get much better than in Jeffco. By the way, Iggy, Crystal City, and Festus are separated by about 2 minutes. Anywho, I've never been lucky enough to score me one of them hot Herculaneum hots, but I was able to snag some South County sportscaster. Doug, let's role play. You be the turkey and I'll be the baster. I'll get my juices all up in that gaping poultry, stuffing, brining, and basting. So coy, so bold.
That's enough.
Some SEMO alum 2.0, home of the 17th ranked football Redhawks.
SEMO alum 2.0. I don't believe the Redhawks are ranked 17th. They're Division I now, right? We would have heard about that.
They're going to play Bama.
Yep. Final Four time.
Wow, this is a notice to cease and desist. Dear Timothy Michael McKernan, on the morning of the 16th day of November 2022, in the 8 o'clock hour, you mentioned your intention to use your hand 28 times on the listeners at an event taking place at Harpo's on Thursday, December 8th. You mentioned this would take place out back by the dumpster. After further review, this event is taking place on a Thursday evening. Mr. McKernan, the dumpster and its surrounding area behind Harpo's on Thursday nights is currently occupied by an individual who wishes not to go by her government name, but for the court she stated that she goes by Meemaw. The Cardinals practice down in Jupiter. The Blues have their own facility here in town. Meemaw is currently this town's Kim Kardashian, and that no celebrity is safe from her humps, even at the age of 104. To maintain this status, Meemaw must continue to master her craft, and Thirsty Thursdays at the Harpo's dumpster is her practice area. She shows off those liver-spotted breasts and the Mizzou grad F-boys flock. She then takes them out back and drops them to their knees when the dentures come out. Please cease and desist and do not go to the dumpster unless you want to experience a sexual explosion for $2. That's from Hey Phil's lawyer.
Okay. Hey Phil's lawyer.
You got a boob job. Couldn't you get the liver spots off there when you put the new boobs on?
Different technique, I think.
Pearlescent nipples glistened under the pale light of the Taco Bell restroom. I'm sorry, his pearlescent nipples.
Yeah, God forbid.
Glistened under the pale light of the Taco Bell restroom. With our bellies filled with crunch wraps and gorditas, we softly caressed each other's chests. His chest was barrel-shaped with supple B-cups. I felt safe in there, like a ship in a harbor during a storm, a mud storm. After several hours of foreplay in the dilapidated stall, we knew it was time. We both released our Mexican chowder into the waiting bowl below.
Don't say
wiped
Mexican
each other
chowder.
with DP, brought from home in a Ziploc bag. It was a good first date. I think he might be the one. That's from Danny Tanner.
I didn't like it. Danny Tanner. Mexican chowder.
And finally, are you tired of the same old search results on Google every time you try to pleasure yourself? Yeah, that fella's girthy, but I've already seen his flesh hog a dozen times. Sure, that dude's bulge is impressive, but I already used it twice this week. Oh, look, a flaccid ween peeking through curly pubes like a shy turtle emerging from its shell after a predator has moved along. Boring. Fear not, I'm here to help. Try adding more descriptive words to your porn searches instead of searching naked old man for the 100th time. Try to get a little more creative with your phrasing. For instance, nervous elderly seafood chef draping a baggy Keishi hoodie over his erect uncut dong. Or perhaps nude translucent Missouri apologist cuddling his Frank Haith body pillow. Try
solo work.
Try this one on for size. Adorable HD2 radio host displays perfectly sculpted calves while going private. Sure, you still can't get a girlfriend or even a roommate, but at least you'll be able to spice up your Hawaiian Tropics scented self-love sessions, and that's better than nothing. You can thank me later. That's from the JV Golf Coach. And Doug, that's what we have for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day.
Okay, coach.
Much of it was vile. I enjoyed the term Frank Haith cuddle pillow. So based on that, I'm going to vote for the JV Golf Coach.
Well, I'm a sucker for a good Mexican stew, so I'm going to go with Danny Tanner.
Danny Tanner has won the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. It was a first date story. And I like to see that our listeners are scoring.
Mexican chowder.
And they may be the one. They may
We'd
be
be kink shaming.
Well, that's okay to do.
We got to give these guys wins.
Congratulations to
I don't know
Danny
about this.
Tanner. You have won the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. Coming up on 101 ESPN, Jackson and I are going to deal with it. And Stephen Wildwood, I know, has a mic drop. The Panger is going to join us coming up at 10:15. It's just so much. I don't even know how we're going to handle it. It's a 1-hour presentation, and it's called Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. If you have not listened to decide whether or not the story is real of Hot Wife Autumn and her gentleman caller, Darnell, that is on the Tim McKernan Show podcast. We have the Pick 6 podcast coming up. I guess we'll do that tomorrow. And Pepper and Jeannie is coming up with a topic that is currently listed as TBD on the log. So there it is, Doug. You've been briefed on what we have going on. MySoundStory.com. I'm available. Doug's available. Jackson's available. But now, in addition, Learn, John Hewlett, Courtney from the Arch, Riz, Patrico, Moon, Randy Carricker, all available. Book yours or for your family member at mysoundstory.com. You can just get a gift certificate. Now you've gotten the greatest Christmas present ever. And use the promo code TMA to get 10% off. mysoundstory.com is where you can go for the holidays. Time for us to shut it down. For the Plowhawk, Action Jackson, Kenneth E. Strode, my brother Kevin, Douglas Elvin Vaughn, I'm Tim McKernan. This has been the Ryan Kelly Morning After, closing out the Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour from the Michelob Ultra Studios. Guess what? TMA is giving